1330 WFIN.
Mark Ritzler, the head coach of the Findlay Trojans, joins me tonight on the Ohio Orthopedics and Sports Medicine pregame show as his Trojans return home to face some invaders from north of the border. Holy Trinity out of, near Toronto, Canada, will be here tonight to take on the Trojans. Mark, and then what have you been able to learn about this team from Canada? Have you seen much film on them?
Well, we haven't seen very much on them. We know very, very little. We've got some film from them last year. This is basically their first game this year, so there's no film to watch of them coming into this. We do have some film from last year. We don't know which kids are back and which ones aren't. We know this is a team that, or a program, I should say, that 2 years ago was and won the championship game of their county, their province up in Ontario, the area where they call the Metro Bowl, but the Metro League, the Durham League. They won that. Last year they made it back to the championship game of that, and they came up short in it. So it's a program that's been successful where they play. They're a Division II size type team school, so they do play big schools. I think most of the teams that they do play on their schedule would be classified as Division I schools. They're going to run the I. They're going to be in a four-man front. They're going to play a lot of cover one, and they're going to play some cover three as well. There'll be some play action and some counters. I think those are things, and those are things that we've been working against that we've seen from their film from last year. So that's what we've been working against.
Mark, how does a game like this come to be, and what kind of points will you get from them in the computer rankings?
The points work the same as they do for playing a team from Ohio or a team from Indiana, a team from Michigan. It all depends on the size of the school and the number of boys in the school. So as I said before, they're Division II. We'll get notified. We have their schedule, so depending on whether they win or lose up there, we get the points the same way as it works as we're playing. If we were playing Fremont or Sandusky, it all works the same way. How this came to be is that there's certain sites that we post games they're looking for. All the teams in Ohio do this, and whether it's teams from Michigan or Indiana, Canada, teams will make calls and send emails. Year to year, things change. I think, for example, Whitmer last year played 2 Canadian schools. This year, they're not playing any. So it just changes. It always depends on what works best out for your team and your program at the time. And, for us this year, this worked out for us week 3.
Yeah, I know they played Kaufman and I think Upper Arlington in the past, so they like to come down and play the Ohio schools and experience all of that. But, Mark, you don't really know about players, personnel and stuff, but I guess from watching the film, you know what this coach wants to do. Yeah,
a little bit. Coach Zinke, again, has been to Ohio before a couple of times, and so he understands, the rules and the types of things that are going to take place down here and how it's different from what they do. So it's not their first trip down here, and, I've talked to the coaches at both Upper Arlington and Dublin Kaufman. He says one thing's for sure, these kids are going to play hard. They play hard football. They go out from the beginning whistle till the end. It's not going to be a team that just kind of walks out in the field. These kids will come to play. They look forward to this. This is a big deal to them. It's a chance for them to come down and play American football that they see on TV and so forth. So they're going to be fired up and ready to go.
And for you guys, Mark, I guess it's just a matter of trying to do what you do best.
Yeah, it is. And we talked a little. Mentioned a little bit earlier that there are things that we need to still do better on both sides of the ball, and that's what we're focusing on, getting better. And then on Friday night, we'll adapt to whatever happens and whatever changes. But as long as we're fundamentally sound and continuing to improve upon the skills that we need to do to execute what we do, then it doesn't matter what the opponent does. We'll adjust to it. It's just fine-tuning our individual techniques.
All right, and everybody's healthy tonight?
Everybody is healthy. We're good to go.
All right, Mark, thanks for your time. Best of luck against Holy Trinity.
Thank you, Chris.
All right, Mark Ritzler, head coach of the Findlay Trojans, and the Ohio Orthopedics and Sports Medicine pregame show will continue after this on WFIN.
WFIN.
And welcome back out to Donnell Stadium. Chris Miller along with Bob Montgomery and Tim Montgomery as well. We want to go down and check with our Ace Hardware sideline reporter. Had a pretty good rain earlier today. Skies are starting to cloud up again, but it's been dry for a couple of hours. But let's go down on the field and check in with Tim Montgomery.
Okay, Chris, thank you very much. And as you said, rain showers come through about 3 o'clock this afternoon. It has been dry, but we've got a 50 to 70% chance between 7 and 10 o'clock tonight. So we'll keep an eye on those clouds. Little to no breeze tonight. Right now, it's actually perfect playing conditions. And, of course, with this all-sports turf, the rain earlier today actually has no impact whatsoever.
All right, thank you, Tim. And, again, we'll be checking in with Tim our Ace Hardware sideline reporter throughout the night. Interesting, Bob. There are more fans who made the trip down from Canada than there were from East Tecca in week number 1.
Well, they had several activities. They were going to make a full weekend out of it, and this is one of the big features of the weekend. But, yeah, I don't even know if we had more than 10 or 12. We got probably maybe 40 or 50 so over there from Canada here. And I guess you said they're going up to game north here tomorrow?
Yeah, they went to Bowling Green today, toured the facilities, then toured the University of Findlay, and then tomorrow they'll hit Eastern Michigan's game. Not sure who they're playing on the way home.
Hey? That was my little
I know.
Canadian comment. Hey, get it? Never mind.
Yeah.
Well, I hope they have a great time, because I don't think they're going to have a real good time here tonight with Findlay, because simply they haven't had much opportunity to practice. They've only had a few practices, only been in school 2 days, and all honesty, they're not a real big school.
I talked to the coach a little bit before the game again, and he says this is not one of his better teams. When they played Kaufman in Upper Arlington a couple of years ago, they had a really good running back who, in fact, is now playing football in Canada at university.
Great.
But he's trying to find out which one of his guys want to play football, and he says coming to America is the best way to find out. We're going to take our final timeout on the Ohio Orthopedics and Sports Medicine pregame show. And when Bob and Tim and I come back, we'll have the starting lineups and the kickoff to tonight's game. It's the Findlay Trojans and the Titans from Holy Trinity. And it's coming up on WFIN. Tonight, it's a first for Findlay Trojan football as Mark Ritzler's team will face their first international contest as Holy Trinity from near Toronto comes to Donnell Stadium.
We know that they're a program that's been very successful in the league in the area that they play in. 2 years ago, they won what they call the Metro Bowl, which is like their area for Toronto. They won their championship game. Last year, they made it back to the championship game and fell a little bit short and lost. But, you know, Coach Zinke's done a good job with this program.
And another important game for the Trojans as there will be playoff points at stake.
Yeah, the size of their school, the number of boys would be a Division II team, and points. You know, it's the same way it works if we played a team from Indiana or Michigan or Ohio. It all depends on the number of boys in the school, their schedule, their big schools, all Division I and Division II. So it works exactly the same. If we're able to come up with a win, any win they get, we get either 6 or 5.5.
It's an international battle. It's the Findlay Trojans. It's the Holy Trinity Titans, and it's next on WFIN.
Your home for the Findlay Trojans, BVC, the Buckeyes, Indians, Blue Jackets, and the Cleveland Browns. This is your sports authority, 1330 WFIN.
And welcome back out to Donnell Stadium. Chris Muller, Bob Montgomery, Tim Montgomery, the Trojans and Holy Trinity. Had a lot of sunshine earlier, starting to cloud up a little bit, as Tim said, chance of some more rain coming through, but we hope we can get this one in before the skies open up again. Here are the starting lineups. The Trojans will start on the offensive side of the ball, so let's check the defense for our friends from Holy Trinity. On the defensive line, nose tackle is Luke Elson. He's 6'1", 256 pounds. The defensive ends are Zach Gibson, 6 foot, 228 pounds, and Blair Winter at 6 foot, 243 pounds. Inside linebacker, one of their better players, Wyatt Rolofson. He's a 6 foot, 183 pounder. The other inside linebacker is Calvin LaPizarra. He is a 5'6", 187-pounder. The outside linebackers are John Ritchie at 6 foot, 218, and Brandon Brissett at 5'8", 270 pounds. And then the defensive backs are Giovanni Akeson, 5'10", 165-pounder, Josh Arbor, a 5'11", 150-pounder, and Mitch Van Sindel, a 5'7", 147-pounder. Trojans tonight. On the offensive side of the ball, at center is Corey Knox, the 6'1", 260-pounder. The guards are Kyle St. John, 6'1", 270-pound senior, and Sam Iliff, 6'2", 221-pounder. The tackles are Bryce Burnside, 6'2", and 235, and then at the other tackle is Sam Iliff. He's 6'2", 220 pounds. The quarterback is Paul Cosiano. Paul, 6'1", 210-pound senior. The running back coming off a 6-touchdown night. 5 of those rushing, Vance Settlemeyer, 5'11", 180-pound senior. And then the 4 receivers to start tonight, Wyatt Krupp, 6', 160-pound senior. Austin Nicewander, the 6'2", 182-pound senior. Jimmy Orwick, the 6', 185-pound senior. And Joseph Davidson, the 6'7", 205-pound senior, round out the starting lineup for the Findlay Trojans tonight.
And, of course, the only time we've seen Canadians play high school ball, a few years back, Liberty Benton took on a team from Canada and didn't have much difficulty coming up with a win. On paper, from what we understand, Findlay is definitely going to be the favorite here, but they're still going to have to prove themselves early and, get themselves moving, get some points on the board, and see what the defense can do from there.
Well, one thing I like about the Trojans this year, they seem to be very businesslike. Last week, Bob, at Reynoldsburg, as you'll recall, there was a lot of chirping and trash talking going on by the Reynoldsburg kids before the game. That all ended by halftime, but our kids never really got into it. They just went out and played the game. And that's one thing I noticed, Bob, before the game. Usually when the teams are out there for warm-ups, there's not much interaction between the teams unless maybe there is a little trash talk. But as soon as the kids from Holy Trinity came out, some of them went over. We're talking to the Trojans who were, going through their specialty warm-ups before the game. And I think the teams got together, had dinner together last night. So it's going to be a good, friendly match tonight.
I think so. You always want to have, good camaraderie and sportsmanship among the teams. And we have, neighboring nations going on. You want, even if they lose, they want to come out and say, those young men from Findlay and the crowd from Findlay was really pretty nice people. They just had a lot of talent. Starting with the kicking game, I'm watching our kicker send the ball through the uprights again. Grant McInnes is just unbelievable. He's only had 2 kicks, not
16 out of 18 touchbacks.
Yeah, the first 2 kicks of each game, he had line kind of knuckler straight, and he still carried down the 10-yard line. The other 16 teams have flown into the end zone, or actually has flown out of the end zone on the fly. So he's booming again here tonight.
Don't forget, Scoreboard HQ will follow the game tonight, too. Rex back at the station. He will have all of the highlights for you from tonight's game. He and John will have all the scores from around the area. And a whole lot more. That's coming up on Scoreboard HQ after the game. And don't forget, you can also listen to the Trojan game and the Scoreboard Show online at WFIN.com, courtesy of WCNet. Trojans will be receiving the opening kickoff. And once again, the kickoffs are a courtesy of Bindle's Appliance. They've been offering service after the sale for over 40 years in downtown Findlay.
And back deep for the Trojans tonight, 2 of our top runners. Or Jimmy Orwick.
And Vance Settlemeyer. And we know what happened last time the Vance Settlemeyer returned, an opening kickoff. 1 week ago tonight, 85 yards and 14 seconds into that game, the Trojans were off and running.
Never look back. And again, it's the Titans of Holy Trinity against the Trojans of Findlay High School.
And the kicker for Holy Trinity is Joe Mastromarco. He is a 5'4", 168-pound senior. He's going to kick it off tonight to start things off for the Titans. Again, purple jerseys with silver helmets, silver pants, white trim, white numerals. The Trojans with the blue jerseys, white helmets, white pants, white numerals, and the gold trim. Kind of look like the San Diego Chargers of old.
Just a little bit, you're right. Again, the wind coming out of the south, so but not much. I'd say 5 to 10 miles an hour max. It's just enough to keep the flag fluttering from south to north.
Won't be the only thing fluttering here tonight, I'm afraid.
Easy now, I got feelings of it.
All right, here we go. The Titans set to kick it off. Left-footed kicker. And Jimmy Orwick will retreat and return it from his 2-yard line to the 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. He's to the far side, and for the second week in a row, the Trojans are going to return the opening kickoff for a touchdown. This one is going to be from 98 yards out by Jimmy Orwick, and this one comes 13 seconds into the contest, 6-0 Findlay.
Oh, here we go again. They actually did kick it away from Settlemeyer. They kicked it towards the right hash mark. Jimmy Orwick was waiting for it. It's, pick your poison. You're going to get hurt no matter who you kick him to. Great blocking again by that front line. Orwick, all he had to do was run. He didn't make any cuts or anything. He had the speed.
Here is Grant McInnes for the point after, 5 of 6 on the year, and make it 6 out of 7. Let's keep it right here. About 13 seconds into this game, 7-0 Findlay.
Actually, a pretty good kick. That ball carried down inside the 5-yard line. But again, Warwick got up ahead of speed before he got into traffic, and the receive team blockers did a great job of picking people up, and he really didn't have to vary too much. It was almost a straight line. He angled a little bit to the far corner up the sideline, but not any sharp cuts. So just outrunning the safety man, the kicker, who stays back to make sure nobody scores if he breaks through everybody else. That kicker did not have the speed to catch Warwick.
Well, let's go down the sideline real quick with Tim Montgomery. He was down there sideline to witness that.
Well, Chris, you talk about Jimmy Warwick, and yeah, the young man has speed, but what really made that whole return happen was the blocking up front. It was like World Wrestling Federation action, as bodies, and those bodies were wearing purple jerseys, were flying everywhere as the front line was just knocking guys backwards, pancakes all over the place, and then for Warwick, it was just off to the races.
So Jimmy goes 98 yards in 13 seconds. Vance was 85 yards in 14 seconds a week ago. Not that we're keeping track.
No, not at all. Well, this time we will have to kick into a slight breeze.
And again, another Bindle's Appliance kickoff offering the full line of Maytag appliances. And here is the outstanding freshman kicker, Grant McInnes, 16 of 18 on the year in kicking touchbacks. And here we go. And you can make it 17 out of 19. Deep into the end zone, and the first possession of the night for Holy Trinity will come from their own 20-yard line.
That ball was within 2 or 3 yards of flying out of the back of the end zone against breeze. Had he been kicking with the breeze, that would have been maybe 10 yards, at least 5 yards probably out of the back of the end zone.
Quarterback is Chris Waldensberger. Running backs, we'll see Alvin Ole and Mike Shepley. Also Derek Sear in the backfield. The fullback's Mike Shepley.
Can you imagine a receiver when they come out and see Joseph Davis and guard him at 6'7"?
They will offset the eye. Shepley, the fullback. They'll bring the slot man in motion from right to left. Fake to him, give to the tailback. And he'll find a little bit of a hole. And then the ball pops loose, and Findlay's going to jump on it. There were purple jerseys racing for it, but coming up with it for the Trojans, I believe it's Nolan Rodman who covered up that football for Findlay.
It was Nolan Rodman. It's kind of a shame because it was a great effort by the running back. He got hit, and I thought he was going to get stopped at the line, but he kept fighting. Second and third effort, get an extra yard or so. He lost control of the ball as he took a secondary hit.
So a fumble on the first play from scrimmage for Holy Trinity, and with 11:40 to play, the Trojans will take over at their own 33-yard line. Good defensive play on first down, as Vance is going to be stopped after a gain of maybe 4 yards.
The linebacker came in and filled the hole up very nicely.
So Findlay will face a 2nd down and 7. We'll call it a 3-yard pickup that time for Vance. Vance Settlemeyer coming into this game with 261 yards on 21 carries and 7 touchdowns. 2nd down, Orwick comes in motion from left to right. And Paul Cosiano, 11 of 11 last week, wants to throw. And wide open is Austin Gutting, 10-5, touchdown Austin Gutting from 29 yards out, and 59 seconds into this game, the Trojans are up 13-0.
What an incredible, really unbelievable start on the season for the Trojans in the first 3 ball games. We played 2 teams that we know weren't going to be very good. One not good at all, East Tech, and this one not very good. We thought Riddlesburg was going to be good, but we scored 61 points against them.
Here's Grant McInnes, and his kick is up and good. So with 11:01 to play in the first quarter, it's already 14-0 Findlay. You're listening to Trojan Football on WFIN.
This is Mark Ritzler, coach of the Findlay Trojans, and you're listening to Trojan Football on WFIN.
And welcome back out to Donnell Stadium. Chris Muller, Bob Montgomery, another Bindle's Appliance kickoff for you. And they offer the full line of GE appliances. And Grant McInnes, this is a low line kick. It's going to hit at the 10, and they will return it from about the 3-yard line out to the 15, the 20. Now trying to get the corner turned, and he won't get it turned very well, but Brandon Jokum will return it out near the 20-yard line, so they didn't get the touchback, but it serves the purpose, didn't quite get back to the 20-yard line. They'll start from their own 19. So the Trojans have run 2 offensive plays, and they lead at 14-0.
Going back to that pass play, great pass by Coach Sean. Hit Tussing right on the numbers in full stride, and all he had to do was almost jog into the end zone. And then on the kickoff, a knuckler by the kickoff, return up the middle, but it shut down, so the receiver cut to the far sideline, tried to get around the corner, couldn't do it.
Alvin Olay behind Shepley. And this time they'll give to that fullback Shepley, and he's going to go nowhere. Austin Gutting, one of the Trojans, knifing in there on the defensive side of the ball, along with Andy Straczynski, our defensive player of the game a week ago.
Yeah, Straczynski got in there very quick. Just shed a blocker and hit the back in the backfield, so it's going to be lost in the play.
2nd down and 12 now for the Titans. Again, they run out of the offset I, slot right. And quarterback Chris Waldensberger, they'll bring the man in motion from right to left, and they will give it to him this time. And he is going to go backwards as well and lose about 3 yards on the carry. That is Derek Sear. And I believe the tackle was Nick Carey's and Mitch Perry.
Nice job by those tacklers. Carey did a great job of getting there very quickly and setting the play up with help from his teammates.
So Derek Sear will lose a yard, and it'll bring up a 3rd down and about 13 now for the Titans from their own 16-yard line. Now they have 3 backs in the backfield, split wide behind the quarterback, and the handoff, and Devin Denard races in and takes care of that play. About a 3-yard loss on the play, and poor Alvin Olay never had a chance on that one.
Well, 3 plays, and they lost yardage in all 3 plays, and now it's going to be 4th and about 20. As they're going to have to punt the ball from their own end zone, probably.
They had 3 guys in the backfield, Bob. They were all about 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage, but they were about 10 yards apart from each other.
He never got a chance to turn around. He just started to turn, and all I could see was Devin Denard right up his throat.
John Codrington is in to punt it away for Holy Trinity.
We're seeing why they're having problems. Didn't have enough men on the punt team. They may have to call a timeout or take a penalty.
They will take a timeout, talk things over. Wyatt Krupp and Austin Nicewander will go deep to return. Want to give you the defensive starters for Findlay. Give them a little pub here. The defensive tackles, Brighton Math is 6'1", 294 pounds, and Andy Straczynski at 6 foot, 253 pounds. The end, Derek Gray, is 6'1", 244 pounds, and Austin Gutting at 6'3", 250 pounds. Inside linebacker Mitchell Perry, 5'10", 175 pounds. Devin Denard, 6 foot, 190 pound senior. The outside linebackers are Nick Karras, 5'11", 175 pound junior, as well as Taylor Opp, who had an interception last week, 5'11", 180 pound senior. And then the cornerback, Zach Haynes, 6'2", 170 pounds. Joseph Davison at 6'7", 202 pounds. And Austin Nicewander, the free safety, at 6'2", 185 pounds.
In my mind, Coach Brooks is going to have a dilemma again. This is going to be over, very quickly. He wants to get playing experience for his team as we open up league play, and it's going to be a lot tougher than the first preseason play. On the other hand, you don't want to run it up against the neighbors up north.
Codrington, kick fielded at about his own 49 by Austin Nicewander. Gets a great block from Robin, but it's not too good of a block. This one's coming back on an illegal block. Austin is going to cut back at the 25. He's going to take it into the end zone, but this one's coming back, folks. Nice return by Austin, but it may have been sprung by a
block in the back.
So this one is coming back, but nonetheless, good effort by Austin Nicewander, making people miss down there.
And it was a great call by the official. There's no doubt about it. One of the blockers was trying to catch up with the man he was supposed to block. When he got there, he was behind him, and he should have backed off. He went ahead and hit him, and obviously blocking the back of a penalty for the Trojans. It's not going to make a big difference in the game, however.
So Findlay is going to start, I would imagine, back around their own 41-yard line. We'll wait till they mark it off. It should be their own 41-yard line. 14-0 Findlay with 8:36 remaining in the first period.
Unbelievable. That was going to be another touchdown with one play. This is going to be really interesting to see how this unfolds from here.
Well, last week, Bob, we didn't score our 14th point until there was 7:03 left in the game, so we're ahead of schedule. And the handoff is, nope, Paul fakes it to Vance. He's going to keep it himself, left side, and Paul Cosiano hit up the 40-35 and finally knocked down near the 30-yard line. He will pick up 24 yards on first down.
I'll tell you, last man to have a chance at him, Giovanni Akeson, had to dive in from the outside to trip him up and pull him down. If he doesn't go down, he's going to run untouched into the end zone again.
So Paul had 6 carries for 24 yards, a touchdown coming in. He has 24 yards and a first down on his first play. Here is Austin Nicewander. Little pass over on the right side, and he's got 5 or 6, maybe 7 yards on first down.
Mitch Van Schindel, defensive back, made the tackle for the Titans. 3rd catch of the year for Austin. And the Trojans will face a 2nd down and 3 from the 23 of Holy Trinity. Here's Vance Settlemyre. Blake breaking a tackle, gets to the sideline, he's gone. He'll waltz into the end zone from 24 yards out. And it is 20-0 pending the extra point. Not even 5 minutes into this first period. And it's not even really fun, in this type of situation. It's too easy to say the least. And you got to wonder what those 50 or so fans are thinking over on Canada. We're playing to win the game. We're playing the first team. We got to play. Great blocking again, just like we saw the first 2 weeks. Everybody's doing their job. We had one block in the back early in the ball game, which obviously is the only mental mistake that we've made in 3 games, and it didn't cost us. We come back and score very quickly anyhow. And Grant McInnes's point after makes it 21-0. Findlay with 7:54 to play here in the first half of action. The first quarter of action. And the Trojans have run 5 offensive plays and have 21 points. Let's go down to Tim Montgomery on the sideline. Tim.
Thank you very much, Chris. Impressive athleticism, as always, from Vance Settlemyre. He came swinging in from the right side, cutting it left, and then just like a gazelle, darted exactly right, avoided 3 tackles, and then used his outstanding speed to get to the end zone. We've talked about all the differences here between Canadian football and American football, and that's been going on all week. But you got to wonder how much of a difference it does make for these young men who are used to having that extra tackler, who are used to being able to have that extra motion in the process. It's going to take them a while to adjust.
Yeah, and plus they haven't been practicing very long to get ready for this one here. But basically, we played 4 minutes and had 3 touchdowns. Well, the Bindles Appliance Kickoff again coming your way, carrying the full line of Frigidaire appliances. And we'll give you our Trojan trivia question tonight. It has a Canadian theme to it tonight. We'll have that for you right after Grant McInnes kicks this one off. 21-0. The Trojans on top as the freshman approaches the ball. Yeah, I know you do, but you aren't eligible. This one will hit about the 6-yard line and return from about the 2 out to the 10. Cut back at the 15, still trying to find somewhere to go with it, and he will not get away from Zach Young. And, Bob, here's our question tonight. What one-time Findlay Trojan played for the Ottawa Rough Riders, British Columbia Lions, and Las Vegas Posse of the Canadian Football League?
Too easy.
425-1FIN, 888-458-1346, the number to call. First correct caller gets that gift certificate from Bread Needs in our Greg Miller Trojan trivia question. So this time, Holy Trinity will start from their own 17-yard line with 7:48 remaining here in period number 1. And they're going to throw their first pass, and this one's going to be batted out of the air. I think Austin Gutting may have been the Trojan who got his big mid up there and knocked that one down. I tell you, the Trojans just have the physical power, the quickness. Gutting 6'3", 250, 248 to be exact according to the program. They tried to get it over him. No way. Tried a quick outside pass. Gutting got by the defender and knocked the ball down. Next week, the Trojans will open track play. They'll be back home against Lima Senior, who comes to town. Offset eye against slot right. They are going right to left. Ball on the far hash mark. They'll fake to the slot man, and they give to the fullback, and he's heading backwards. Host of Trojans knocked him back 5 yards, but his forward progress will be stopped at about a 2-yard loss. I'll tell you, the offensive line is getting dominated. The Findlay defense, they're blitzing a linebacker. They just have the size, strength, ability, talent, and there's no place that right now the Titans can go either on the ground or in the air, and I think we're going to have a timeout by the Titans, possibly. Mitch McKnight is the center, 6'2", 43. Zach Gibson, 6'2", 28, is the left guard. The right guard is Robbie Akeson. He's 5'8", 231. The tackles are Derek Brown, 6'2", 50, and John Ritchie at 6'2", 18. And it is 3rd and 12. And the quarterback fumbled the snap. He's able to jump back on top of it, but they will lose a couple of yards on the exchange, and it'll bring up another punting situation for Holy Trinity.
Well, we just got to get through this, and hopefully we'll just keep running the ball and keep the clock moving.
Wyatt Krupp and Austin Nicewander again go deep for the Trojans on the return from Codrington's punt.
Findlay should field this ball in Titan territory.
Both standing right around midfield. And Codrington just got this one off. Low line driver, and Krupp has to back up and chase it down. It got between him and Austin. He'll go back and pick it up at the 34-yard line. Sidesteps 1, 2 tacklers. Breaks through another tackle. Now he's down the near sideline, cuts it in. Then he had to push Devin Denard out of the way, looking for a hole, goes back left, caught from behind, and finally stopped. And here comes a flag way well behind the play, but a nice return by Wyatt Krupp. Had to get Devin Denard out. Devin was trying to block. And he returns it to about the 33 of Holy Trinity, but there is a penalty flag back at the 44-yard line.
Well, you're right. Devin Denard was trying to block a huge cover man down there, and he had him in a stalemate. He wasn't taking him in place, but, he wasn't moving out of the way of the runner either, and the runner ran into him and bounced off and just kept going.
He's trying to block Blair Winter, who's 6 foot, 243 pounds. He was out throwing passes before the game. We have a block in the back again.
Personal foul, that's all I could hear.
It's going to be a big one. They would have started about the 33, but the penalty will drop them all the way back to about the 41-yard line.
Well, the problem was they would have fielded that ball inside the 50, but they were kind of lined up on each hatch mark. The ball went straight down the middle, and both return men thought his teammate was going to take it, hit the ground, and kick way down the field.
Both times the penalties have come on kick return. 6:08 to play. Trojans from their own 41. And here is Vance Settlemeyer sidestepping tacklers, spinning off another tackle, breaking an arm tackle, breaking another tackle, and finally it takes 3 Titans to bring him down at the 39-yard line. A 20-yard pickup for Vance Settlemeyer.
That will go on the year-end highlight film. He earned that big run. He broke 3 tackles where they all had solid hits and made solid hits, but they didn't wrap up well enough, and Settlemeyer kept working his way free.
So 1st and 10 Trojans now from the 39 of Holy Trinity. Paul wants to throw. Fake out to Krupp. He stopped and takes off again down the far hash mark and just overthrown. And that's Paul's first incompletion since week 1. He got hit after the pass. Nice job by Wyatt Rollefson. He's one of their top players, and he showed why there. But that one will fall incomplete.
He was wide open. The takeoff pattern, he went down, broke the outside a little bit. Courtice faked the pass. The defender bit on it. The receiver went downfield wide open. It was overthrown by about a yard.
Just the second incomplete pass of the season for Paul. 15 out of 18 now. Paul wants to throw here over the middle. Joseph Davidson wide open. 30, 25-foot race down the sideline. Goodbye, Joseph Davidson from 39 yards out. The Trojans strike again. Paul to Joseph Davidson from 39 yards out. And the Trojans have scored their 4th touchdown midway through the first quarter.
Tell you, they had 2 receivers wide open and 2 other ones that he could have thrown to too, and he just picked the tallest guy to throw it to, Joseph Davidson. He caught the ball and used tremendous speed to outrun a defensive back to the end zone.
And the point after by Grant is up and good. 5.5 to play here in the first quarter. 28-0 Findlay. We'll be back on WFIN.
This summer, Cold Stone Creamery journeys back to the 50s with ice cream parlor favorites. Select from ice cream flavors like chocolate malt or cherry vanilla. You can also indulge in one of our nostalgia classics like the hot fudge sundae, the turtle sundae, a banana royale, or root beer float. Try any of our retro classics for only $4.99 for a limited time at Cold Stone Creamery, the ultimate ice cream experience.
1050 Interstate Court at the corner of I-75 and U.S. Route 224 in Findlay.
This is John and Bob LaRich of the LaRich family of dealerships. Commitment is a vital part of team sports. An individual becomes part of a team through commitment. Our dealerships are deeply rooted in this community through over 25 years in business. And the LaRich family of dealerships would like to thank our area athletes for their commitment as well. LaRich Toyota Subaru on the corner next to Best Buy and at ToyotaBob.com. And LaRich Chevrolet Cadillac downtown Findlay and at LaRichCars.com.
Chris Miller, Bob Montgomery, and Tim Montgomery back at Donnell Stadium. Another Bindle's Appliance kickoff. They carry the full line of LG appliances. 28-0 Findlay. 5.5 minutes to play in the first quarter. Grant McInnes is going to boom this one, and this one's going to be returned at about the 1-yard line. This is the other return man. He gets hit hard and driven into the ground by Jimmy Orwig. And on the return that time was Alvin Olay. He returns it out to the 21-yard line.
You're watching all aspects of the Trojan teams, and you can figure it out by the scores we've been had by them. Everybody's doing a job. Every lane was covered going down the field on the kickoff team. Really, the return man had no place to go with it. Again, picking his poison, who I want to be tackled by. He saw a smaller Orwick, said, I'll take him on. And he thought, whoop, after he got hit, he said, that might have been a bad decision, too, because he got drilled.
Holy Trinity breaks the huddle. They'll go slot left this time. And I formation, offset I with the pullback to the right. They'll give to the man around from left to right. And a pretty good run this time. Close to a first down. On the carry is Brandon Jokum. He's got 9 yards. Nice run.
The triple option.
There you go. Nice call, Tim.
Zach Haynes, they gave it to the first man. The thing that helped them was after they handed the ball to the quarterback, he kept the fake going, faked the handoff to the second man. He didn't even have the ball. That froze the defense a little bit. They started coming in thinking the inside man was going to get it. Meanwhile, the guy that took the handoff first just got around the corner and turned upfield.
So Jokum with a 5-yard pickup. This time they'll go slot right on the far side, the short side of the field. Bring the man in motion, fake him, give it to the tailback, and he almost got hit before he got the football. It was Devin Denard who got there first and will drop Alvin Olay for a 2-yard loss.
I'll tell you, big play again by the Trojans.
Devin Denard, like I said, Bob, I think he was there before he got the ball.
Taylor Ropp was in on that hit, too. Nice play by both of them.
3rd and 3 now for the Titans with 4:19 remaining here in our first period. They'll put the 2 receivers to the left side this time. Wallensberger from up under center. They put Jokum in motion again. They will give to him again, and he's not going to find any holes this time. He's going to be hit in the backfield by Zach Young and dropped for about a 4-yard loss that time.
Late flag right after the tackle. I don't know what happened, but after the tackle was made, the flag came up.
I believe it's against Findlay again.
I think they're going to get Zach Young leading with the helmet.
Yep, you're right, Tim. So he led with the helmet. That'll be a 15-yard penalty and the first down of the night for the young men from Canada.
I question the call. He did not intentionally. He was going in, a guy turned and hit him in the chest with the helmet and shoulders, everything. And just not a good call.
He dropped his helmet into his back there, Bob. It wasn't in purpose, but it was a good call.
No, I didn't see it. I'm glad you did. It looked like he just went right into the back, hit him, and drove him right into the ground.
Well, Arlington and Arcadia, after 1 quarter of play, they are scoreless. We'll have all those scores for you after the game tonight. Our game of the week tomorrow morning at 7 has Corey Rawson playing host to Pandora Gaboa. And now we have encroachment against Findlay, so that's the 4th penalty of this contest for the Trojans.
Well, maybe that will pick the Titans up a little bit of encouragement.
Jokum in motion again from left to right. Fake to him. They give to Olay. He spun off a tackler, and then as his legs taken out from underneath him by Zach Young, he falls over the pile for about a 2-yard pickup.
Nice open hill by Zach Young. Open tackle.
Called his name a couple of times tonight. That'll bring up 2nd down and a long 3 for the Titans.
They like to run the option, and they try and make you guess who has the ball. And so far, more often than not, so far tonight, the Trojans have been right on who they pick to have the ball in their hands.
2nd down again, a long 3, just shy of their own 47-yard line. Quick snap, they give to Olay again. Nothing doing this time. He got the ball, and staring him in the face was Brighton Mathis, all 295 pounds of him, and he will lose a yard or 2 on that play.
Zach Young got in on the action, too, again.
Well, it was Big Brighton just standing there waiting for him. I think his eyes might have got a little big when he saw that big body waiting for him. It'll bring up 3rd down and 5 for the Titans. They'll send slot left. And Wallensberger wants to pass, and he is crushed. And it's going to be Derek Gray who gets there and drops him for a 5-yard loss.
Wow. Big man got in there very quickly. A quarterback went back and looked around for a second, tried to get set up to throw the ball, and got hit before he had a chance to even get the ball off.
So the punt team will have to come back out for the Titans. They did move the ball a little bit that possession, got help from a couple of penalties, but had a little bit of forward progress that time, and the punter is back out to send it to Wyatt Krupp, and Jimmy Orwick is back deep this time as well. High kick, and Wyatt Krupp will fair catch it at the 22-yard line. Now in Canada, you can't fair catch it. You have to give them a 5-yard cushion, but they can't fair catch it. You get to hit them.
Eh?
So,
get it, eh?
I'm trying to ignore that one. Suppose if they did that to you, Bob, they'd say, duh.
And Tim is down there shaking his head no, too, like, what's going on up there?
Oh, we'll talk about that later.
Okay. 2:01 to play here in our first period. The Trojans from their own 32-yard line. Jimmy Orwick goes in motion from right to left. Fake to him, give to Vance. Right side, big hole. Stiff arms the tackler, breaks away at the 40, and then that tackler who he broke away for able to come back and make the play. Good effort by Brandon Brissett to stay with the play. About an 11-yard pickup for Vance.
That's still a nice run because he got slowed up back upfield, maybe 5 yards across the line of scrimmage, and then he had to slow down to figure out which way he was going to go between two more tacklers, and then the man who missed the original tackle came up to make a tackle.
1st and 10, Paul with a quick out to Wyatt Krupp, and Wyatt with an escort down the sideline. Got another first down before he's wrestled out of bounds. About an 11-yard pickup, but there's another flag on the play.
Looks like holding.
They have holding over there where the blockers were in front of White, and that is exactly the call. Another penalty against Findlay.
In my opinion, this may not be all bad because this is something that Coach Lipser can use to motivate his kids about, stupid mistakes. You can't do that against a team that's competitive. We're getting away with it tonight, but you get in the league against Central Catholic or Whitmer or St. John's or St. Francis, get these penalties and it may cost you a loss.
Yeah, haven't had a lot of penalty problems the first 2 weeks of the season, but a little sloppy tonight, even with a 28-0 lead. I believe that's the 5th penalty against Findlay in the first quarter. They'll give to Vance. He's going to avoid it. No, this is Devin Denard, and Devin Denard gets a block out front from Jimmy Orwick, and he's heading down the near sideline, 57 yards. Devin Denard with a touchdown.
Great blocking at the line of scrimmage. Couple moves in the defensive backfield to avoid tacklers, and one man had an angle on him, but it didn't have near the speed that Devin had, and it was all over.
And the Trojans put their 5th touchdown on the board in the first quarter. This one on a Devin Denard 57-yard run.
I like Devin Denard his sophomore year. Man, I said, that kid's kind of mean and nasty. Not dirty. I mean, he wants to play football and hit people, and he's fast. Really a good basketball player, too, but he's just tenacious, and now they're giving him a few chances of running. Every time he's touched the ball, he's done something great this year, offensively, too.
Yeah, that is his 4th carry of the year for over 100 yards. And Grant McInnes out for the point after, and that one is good as well. And let's go down on the sideline, and we'll check in with Tim Montgomery.
Thanks, Chris. I think everybody knows that this is a bit of a mismatch, but I want to tip my hat to the coaching staff. Like the play calling, this is going to pay off down the stretch. They run the ball, and they get the defense to pack it in a little bit, and then they spread them back out with the pass, constantly keeping them guessing back and forth. A nice job by the coaching staff.
Thank you very much, Tim. And the Trojans lead it 35-0 with a minute 14 remaining. And they will tee it up, and Grant McInnes will kick it off again, courtesy of Bindle's Appliance. You can check them out at bindlesappliance.com. Macomb and Liberty Benton, that's the big game tonight. They are tied at 6 in the first quarter. That is a huge game in the Blanchard Valley Conference in Week 3. Be those two in Leipzig battling for the title when it's all said and done.
Still a beautiful night tonight. We understand we're going to get rain maybe a little on, but, at the pace we're going, I think we may be done with that game before the rain comes in.
Grant McInnes will kick it off. Facing a little bit of a breeze. I don't know if that's affected his ability to put it into the end zone. He put his first one there, and last 3 did not, but that one will go into the end zone, and it'll be a touchback, and they'll come out and start from their own 20.
Didn't go straight down the field. It went off to the left, angled off the left. They looked like 90-95% of the ball, but that time was enough to carry it into the end zone. And again, Titans will be forced to start their drive on the 20-yard line, and they just don't have the manpower to, make an 80-yard drive, I don't believe.
Buckeyes in action tomorrow. They'll take on a pretty good Central Florida team. Central Florida destroyed Akron a week ago. And they'll come to Ohio State, play the Buckeyes tomorrow, 10:30 pregame, kickoff set for noon right here
I think
on WFIN.
I remember Dante Culpepper played for Central Florida, I think.
Motion against Holy Trinity as they get their best offensive play, about a 15-yard gain, but I believe one of the slot men jumped the gun a little bit, unfortunately.
Joseph Davison made the tackle. It was a post pattern. He went down the field, and it looked like he was going to shift gear and go really hard against Davison. Joseph took a back step, and he cut across the middle of the field. By the time Joseph Davison recovered, he had made the catch. But a penalty on the play against, I think, the Titans.
Of course, this has got to be tough for the kids, too, Bob, when they play in Canada. Of course, you can have forward motion before the ball is snapped. I think you can have 3 guys heading towards the line of scrimmage when the ball is snapped.
I was going to say, Chris, everybody needs to check their pool on the first against the Canadian team. It's a minute 14 winner.
Second down, 15. They'll give to the Sear from right to left, and he avoids a couple of tackles and has a pretty nice gain out near the 28-yard line. About a 13-yard pickup. Nice play by Derek Sear.
He left 3 tacklers in his wake. Finally got tripped up by the third one and fell down. But, at least on this next play, the Titans have a reasonable chance to maybe get a first down on third and about, 2.
And he's the one that Coach Zinke said potentially was going to be one of his best players, and he has a 13-yard pickup there. It'll be 3rd down and 2 for the Titans now. Maybe the final play of the period. They'll bring a man in motion. They'll give to Olay, and he's got the first down. Gets it to the outside, keeps in bounds, cuts back inside. Austin Nicewander will stop him at the 41 after a 13-yard pickup. Nice play.
Very, very nice play. Used his blocking, was patient. Almost got driven out of bounds, but tiptoed along the sideline, cut back up the middle, gained some extra yardage before he got tackled.
Well, that's the first down that didn't come via penalty. They have 2 now, 1 by the penalty, and then that gain, and that'll do it for our first period of play. So after 1 quarter from Donnell Stadium, it's all Findlay as they lead their visitors from Canada 35-0 Findlay after 1 on WFIN. And it's 1st and 10 Titans now from their own 41 as we start the second 12 minutes of action. We'll go left to right here in our second period. Bring the man in motion, Jokum. They'll give it to him, and Jokum gets a nice block. Here comes a flag as Jokum breaks into the open. He cuts back at the Findlay 40, steps through a tackle, and then got caught by Mitch Perry down at the 30-yard line. But a flag in the offensive backfield. It's a holding penalty against Holy Trinity, and that is going to negate about a 30-yard pickup. They're huddling up, ready to go. They don't have the word yet, but that was a great block thrown out here on the side.
That's got to be depressing. They got something going here, pumped up. Coach Gibb trying to pump them up during that timeout between the first and second quarter. They come out with what appears to be a big play, and one of the reasons there's a big hole there probably was the holding penalty near the point of attack.
And I think it was Derek Brown who threw that big block out here on the side.
Aren't we south of Canada?
I thought you said our friendly neighbors from the south.
We are their friendly neighbors.
Social studies teacher there.
We are their friendly neighbors from the south.
On the carry is Derek Sear. This time it's not going to be as successful as his last run as he will lose a couple of yards.
Well, we weren't very friendly in that play. He got gang tackled before he got to the corner to try and turn upfield. Nice penetration, angling defense probably. Nobody got to the defense player and they made a big play.
Be a second down, about 24 now for the Titans. Trojans back home again next week. Lima Senior comes to town. We knew that old rivalry. Waldensberger lines up under center. Drops back. Will give to Olay, and he's going nowhere. He was met almost immediately by Benson Shoemaker, and it'll be a loss of 2 again for the Titans.
Great defensive effort there by the Trojans, and Mitchell Perry also came in to help on the tackle. A couple other players, so what appeared to be a passing situation. The Titans trying to cross the Trojans up and run a running play, but defense was not fooled.
We'll bring up a 3rd down and 27 now for the Titans. Heading backwards. On 3rd down, Jokum comes in motion, and he'll get the handoff. And Austin Nicewander snuffed that play out. And quickly getting over there to help was Mitchell Perry again, and Jokum may have picked up a yard on that play.
Well, tried to sweep, and Findlay wouldn't have it.
Well, they've had some success, but may have gone to the well once or twice too often with that one.
It was the only play they had success with. They tried to come back again with it.
Jimmy Orwick, Austin Nicewander will go deep to return this punt. Fourth punt of the night for Holy Trinity. Their other possession ended in a fumble on their first play from scrimmage. And we've got another flag.
Defensive man jumped into the offensive lineman, immediately points to the offensive lineman like he jerked or something.
Well, the left guard did move.
Yeah, he did move. That's what caused the defensive man to move himself. So you can't move in the offense until the count is yelled out by the quarterback, or the punter in this case, and when the lineman moved prematurely.
So 4th down and 32 now for the Titans. Nicewander and Orwick awaiting near midfield. Low snap. Cotterton picks it up. Gets off a pretty good kick. Spiral. Jimmy will field it at the 46-yard line. Into Titan territory and hit and dropped at about the 41-yard line. And here comes a late flag. And I think we've got another blocking penalty against Findlay on the return.
Well, this is really kind of sloppy, and I don't like it. But again, it's something that Coach can use, get beat on the beginning of the week about stupid mistakes that's going to cost us in tight games.
It's another personal foul against the Trojans. That's the 4th 15-yard penalty against Findlay tonight.
I'll tell you,
the only black eye of this game.
We haven't had a black eye in any game in any way, shape, or form until tonight, and the needless penalties. It doesn't hurt if we're up 35-0, but you just don't want to have those type of penalties.
Yeah, Chris, Devin just got him a little bit too late, a little bit too hard. To Devin's credit, though, he immediately popped up.
Yeah, he helped.
Apologized to the young man, shook his hand.
Helped him right up. That's right, Tim. 1st and 10 Trojans now from their own 38-yard line. And we do have a quarterback change, and we have a new running back. And doing rather nicely on his first carry from scrimmage is Doran Thames, and he's got about 13 yards on let's make that a 14-yard pickup.
Doran Thames, a 170-pound, listed as a linebacker. He's only a sophomore. Did a nice job as a running back that time.
I think he's been injured earlier in the year, and that's why we hadn't seen him, but he's got 13 yards and a first down on his first carry.
Nice blocking by the offensive line in the play, too.
And Brandon Mule is in at quarterback. Lots of new faces now in for the Trojans. Here's Thames again. This one's not going to go quite as well. He'll pick up maybe a yard before his forward progress is stopped.
It looked like the defense had an angle left on that play, and it was the right call. We were running to our right, so we ran into the strength of the defense. No place for the ball carrier to go.
That'll bring up 2nd down and 9 for the Trojans. 8:15 to play first half. 35-0 in favor of the Trojans. Trojans will send 3 receivers out here to the near side. Thames in the backfield with Mule. And this time Mule will keep it. Fakes to Thames and keeps it himself. Got caught from behind. He'll pick up maybe 3 yards on 2nd down.
Good job by the quarterback. He rode that ball carrier like he was going to hand off. It froze the defense. He pulled the ball at the last second, took it himself, turned the corner, and got a couple yards.
We'll call it 3 for Brandon, and that will bring up a 3rd and 7 for the Trojans. They'll put 3 receivers to the right and 1 to the left. That's Joey Hammond here to the left. Thames on the right shoulder of Mule, and Mule wants to throw. Back to pass. Steps up, fires, and caught. And on the reception, and with a first down for the Trojans, is Colton Hutchison down near the 37-yard line. An 8-yard pickup and a first down.
Quarterback rolled to his right, picked up his receiver, threw a dart right at his hands. Hot to handle, but he held on to it and got the first down.
Yeah, he caught that one twice.
9-yard pickup and a first down for the Trojans, and I believe that's Brandon Mule's first completion as the Trojan quarterback. 1st and 10 Trojans now from the 37 of Holy Trinity. And a nice catch by Colton Hutchison, his first as a varsity member of the Trojans. Here's Thames going to the left. He is caught. Nope, broke that tackle, and then a host of Titans are going to catch him and drop him for a 4 or 5 yard loss.
Nice team defense that time. He was running back trying to find a lane to run. There just simply was no place to go. He kept, to his credit, he kept fighting to find some place, but took 2 or 3 hits and finally was brought down.
6.5 remaining here in our first half of action. 35-0 in favor of the Trojans, and they face a 2nd down and 15 now from the 42-yard line of Holy Trinity. Twins formation this time with 2 to each side. And Mule will keep it himself this time. Great fake, and he's going to take off down the near sideline. One man to beat, avoids him, keeps his feet in bounds, and takes it to the end zone. Brandon Mule from 42 yards out. Touchdown, Findlay.
Fake handoff, and the defense bit on it. Everybody closed in. He picked up a couple nice blocks by the wide receivers that got around the corner, tiptoed down the sideline. Didn't want to step in the sideline. Managed to avoid that, and then just waltzed into the end zone for the touchdown.
So Brandon Mule will go 42 yards for the touchdown. And our unsung hero on the night, Larson Store out for the point after, and it's good. 6:09 to play in the half. It's 42-0 Findlay, and we'll be back on WFIN. Well, the Trojan JVs put some points on the board to make it 42-0. And check out Bindle's Appliance, great financing options. Again, our kickoff sponsor is Grant McInnes. Will tee it up. That was a 6-play, 62-yard drive. Took about 3 minutes, and Brandon Mule went the final 42 yards. Faked it to his tailback, pulled it out of his belly, and he raced around the end for 42 yards and a touchdown.
This time, the Trojans have the one at their back on the kickoff for a change.
And Grant will approach the ball. Got under this one. This one will be returnable from the 5, and he bounced off his chest, but he picks it up on the hop. 10-15. He finds hold of the 20, 25, 30. There are 2 Trojans deep. McInnes, the kicker, one of those. And he's going to be caught from behind. He was caught over there by Austin Cameron. And McInnes and Zach Haynes finally put him away. But a great return down there by Alvin Olay. And hey, all of a sudden, Holy Trinity is knocking on the door at the Findlay 30-yard line.
Well, the kickoff was high. It looked more like a punt. He got underneath it trying to hit it hard, and kind of a pop-up. A nice fielding job. Great running. Bounced off a tackler down around a 10, 15-yard line back in there, and then just beat the defense as they closed in from both sides and finally got caught upfield around the 30.
I was just going to say, the one thing about the kickoffs not being touchbacks is they can work on their kickoff coverage, and they may after that one. And there's a procedure penalty against the Titans. And again, we said it may be hard for some of those guys to stand still here.
Yeah, they get a little excited now and they want to get going. They got something to be pumped up about, and that's good. They did a nice job on that kick return. A good job by the safety from Findlay, staying back. He had to give some yardage to make sure he didn't miss a tackle, and he made the tackle and gives the defense a chance to stop a score here possibly.
First down and 15 now for the Titans. Three-back spread behind the quarterback this time. They'll give to Olay, and he got hit in the backfield and then swarmed over by several other Trojans. And trying to get the number of the first Trojan might have been Jordan Gary, who was the first one to get there.
63 also, Leon Evans made a nice play. He was part of that tackle also.
So a 2-yard loss that time. And it'll bring up 2nd down and 17 now after that great return. They'll go slot left this time, and the receiver to the right as well. Offset eye. Here comes Jokum in motion. They'll give to him again, trying to get around the right side. And he's not going to get very far. He'll be hit and knocked out of bounds by Larson Store. Almost had him in the backfield, but Larson did a nice job, stuck with him, and caught him from behind. About a 3-yard pickup that time for Jokum.
Bailey Duvall also coming over to help out a little, slowing down. Again, nice run. Nice job of juking a couple of tacklers. Was able to pick up some yardage, but still it's going to be 3rd and long.
Call it 3rd and 14 now for the Titans from the Trojan 34-yard line. Under 5 minutes to play here in the the first half. And Tim will catch up with head coach Mark Ritzler on the Helms Paving and Site Contracting halftime show. Dean Whitwer, the superintendent of Findlay Schools, will join us as well. Wallensberger wants to throw, and his pass is complete to the 30. and stop. So they'll pick up about 6 or 7 yards on the pass completion to Nick Lebenko.
Larson Storr, the primary hitter, got help from his teammate.
And Lebenko will call it a 6-yard pickup. And I think it was Will Jones on the stop for the Trojans. And it'll be 4th down, call it 8 for Holy Trinity with 4:08 remaining in the second period. The 3 receivers in the slot over here, and Wallersberger wants to throw. Under pressure, steps up, throws back against the middle. Nice catch. And pulling that one in was Derek Sear. It was very nearly picked off, but Sear's able to hold on and pick up about 9 yards and a 1st down. Nice catch.
Nick Keister, linebacker, thought he might have an interception on that. It was coming right at him, but the receiver cut in front of him right at the last second and stole the catch, reception, and got the 1st down.
So 1st and 10 for the Titans now from the Trojan 19-yard line with 3:45 remaining in the half. Nice catch by Derek Sear.
Titans in scoring position now.
We'll go back to the ground game. And on the carry is Alvin Olay. He's been their top runner here tonight. He's got about 6 yards on 1st down.
It was great running there. Got halfway decent blocking and just used his speed to break a couple arm tackles, and finally got tackled with a couple linebackers and defense backs. Made the play for the Trojans.
2nd down and a long 5 now for the Titans.
Physical therapy at Ohio
official timeout. I think we have an equipment problem.
Increase coordination, decrease pain.
Well, the Cleveland Browns return to WFIN on Sunday as they will host the Philadelphia Eagles in their season opener, and we'll have it here on WFIN 11:30 pregame, and kickoff is set for 1 o'clock as the Browns return to WFIN for the first time since the year they went away.
Go Brownies!
3:14 remaining here. And again, don't forget after the game tonight, the scoreboard show with Rex and John back at the station. They'll have all the scores from around the area for you.
Well, I'm not sure if it was an equipment problem or...
There's a timeout that was called.
Slight injury. The guy that was on his knee looked okay. He got up and walked off on his own power, but they replaced him.
Aaron Himmelgarn, the trainer, is out talking to the officials.
Nice Aaron. What a nice young lady.
There wasn't a timeout, so it was an injury situation, and they're calling the Trojans back out on the field with 3:14 to play.
I don't think the young man that left really wanted to leave, but, they had to leave, take the timeout, and, he'll probably be back in very shortly. 2nd down and 5 now for the Titans from the 14-yard line of Findlay as they are knocking on the door against the Trojans. For the most part, the junior varsity players are out there. And here's that little sweep around the left side to Derek Sear this time, and Sear is able to pick up a yard. Larson Storr on the tackle for the Trojans. Well, it's kind of interesting. He has to put the backup players, reserve players, second team, third team in, and that's good. We avoid injury, don't run the play up and so forth. But, at the end of the year, the only bad thing is, if they're looking for scholarship people, all legal honors, doesn't show that we had, all that much activity. It'll show we had a lot of activity in the time we're in there.
I don't think scouts anymore look at stats too much. And the handoff is right up the middle, and he's going nowhere. Olay is going to be wrapped up and thrown to the ground by Nick Keister, 5'6", 210-pounder. No gain on the play that time.
And another positive, obviously, is to get a lot of the backup players in playing quality time instead of clean up with the last 2 or 3 minutes or 4 minutes of the ball game. Good deal for them.
4th and 5 for Fred Zinke's Holy Trinity Titans from the Trojan 13-yard line. Under 2 minutes to play here in the second period. Findlay in control, 42-0. Varsity put 35 up in the first quarter. JVs came in, and Brandon Mule raced for his touchdown, 42 yards for the last touchdown for Findlay. And they are not going to get a playoff. Nope, they're going to call a timeout. So they waited till there was 2 seconds left on the play clock. Take a timeout. We'll do the same. We'll be back 42-0 Findlay with a minute and a half to go on WFIN.
Win our raffle, make the kick, and win a cash prize.
Back at Donnell Stadium, a minute and a half remaining here in the first half, 42-0. Holy Trinity is trying to get on the board here. They face 4th and 5 from the Trojan 13-yard line. They took the timeout. They'll put 3 to the right, and the fullback stays behind the quarterback in the pistol this time. And Wallensberger wants to pass under pressure. Sidesteps the would-be tackler, takes off to his left. He's got the first down and drops the shoulder. He got hit hard and taken down hard. Nice hit down there by Nick Kiffmeyer. Wallensberger may have gotten the wind knocked out of him a little bit that time. He'll pick up 7 yards, but a great hit that time. Kiffmeyer with a big hit. And a first down, though, for the Titans, so they keep the drive alive, and Waldensberger's going to be okay, but I think he may have gotten the wind knocked out of him a little bit by that big hit by Kiffmeyer.
Well, that was a great play. If he doesn't make the tackle, it's a touchdown.
He's walking up to the line of scrimmage a little slower. He got down, but Mr. Kiffmeyer got lower. And the pitch around the right side to Jokum. And he'll be hit at the 5 and dropped at about the 3-yard line. Storr and Kiffmeyer are on the tackle. About a 2-yard pickup that time for Jokum.
Well,
and let's see, they have 1 timeout left. So they'll 39 seconds to go. It's 2nd and goal from the 4. And the JVs will try to come up with a defensive stance here. And we will catch up with Coach Ritzler. Tim will get his comments heading to the locker room. 2nd down and 4, and the quarterback's going to keep it after he faked to the fullback. He'll dive forward for a couple of yards, and they'll use their last time out. And we'll keep it right here.
It comes with 18 seconds on the clock.
So they'll face, 3rd and goal from about the 3-yard line.
Long 3, but they have 2 chances to try and get on the board here. Did a nice job, with a good kick return and work the ball field and in position to maybe get some points on the board. Clock a bit of a factor here. 18 seconds showing. If they don't score here, they have to have a play ready because they can't call timeout and stop the clock.
3rd and goal from the 3. And they snap to Wallensberger. He tries to go straight ahead behind center. He gets 2, but didn't get into the end zone, so they're going to have to hurry, get up off the pile, and try to get another playoff. They do have time here. It'll be 4th and goal from about the 1. And Wallensberger this time will give to his tailback, Olave, and he is going to be caught in the backfield and dropped for about a 5-yard loss. Nolan Rodman, along with Liam Evans, make the play, and they will drop Olave for about a 4-yard loss, and the first half will come to an end. So a nice job by the JVs as they end to stop an 11-play drive by the Titans and keep them out of the end zone. Now, let's go down on the sideline. Tim Montgomery with head coach Mark Ritzler.
Coach, obviously you got to be happy with the scoreboard, but are the penalties that you guys encountered concern you at all?
Yeah, that's frustrating, but we got off to a quick start like we wanted to. Got the kickoff return. That's 2 weeks in a row. That's a good thing, certainly. The defense did a good job, got them off the field, and we scored again. So I'm happy about that. Penalties we'll take a look at, but, yep, that's a concern.
Got to be pleased with the junior varsity defensive effort out there.
Yep, that was a nice stand there at the end. I had it all the way down to the 1-yard line. They ended up making a play to keep them out of the end zone, so that's a good sign.
Will we see the first unit anymore in the game?
No, they're done.
All right, thank you, Coach. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Tim, and thanks to Mark Ritzler. And now we are joined by Dean Whitmer, Superintendent of Findlay City Schools, and, our friends from Canada are giving it the old college try, but a pretty talented Trojan team they're facing tonight.
It really is. It's a nice group of kids from Canada, and I went over and talked with their parents a little bit. They're very appreciative of our hospitality, and they've got some really nice players, but it's just a difference in a different style of ball, really, and I think we are fairly talented, which is easily seen, but it's just nice to have a ball game. We could have been without a ball game too, Chris. So
I told the coach we've had some great teams about every 5 years, and guess what year this is?
Yeah, that's true.
But Dean and I didn't get a chance to talk to you the first home game, but that's both scoreboards, the one on the press box and the one with the big jumbotron down there in the corner, is fantastic. What a facility you have here.
Yeah, it really is. We are very fortunate with the Donnell Foundation, who really supports our student athletes in this community, and this venue with the turf, with the upgrades to the press box. We did a lot of renovations to the press box because there was some leakage with the jumbotron, as we call it, the addition on the press box so that the visitors can see, and with the new building going up right beside it, I don't think there's probably a better venue around to watch football and enjoy a game than here right now.
Yeah, it's a lot better for them to be here than to have to listen to Bob and I, as you well know.
No, I enjoy that. What we should do is do live play outside so people could hear it, right?
I don't know if they want that. But and then, well, just finally, Dean, Donnell looks great. Haven't seen Glenwood, but how's construction?
Well, it's been a great summer, a great spring to actually build things. As that Millstream opened up,
true.
We've had a lot of people in and out of there. There's going to be open houses in late October. We're finishing some things up, some punch list items, but the kids really, really like the facility over there. And then in January, when the kids come back from vacation, these buildings will be opened up. And as you look at Donnell, you can start to see where the library is. All the windows are in on this side. The roof's about done. They're starting all the grass or all the pavement around. There's a basketball court on the east side. Lime Street area is ready to go for paving. So we're going to start around the building, and probably in the next month or so, you're going to see a lot of this outside being completely finished. And what's happening right now is all the cabinetries being put in, the terrazzo floors, and a lot of the HVA systems. And so we're really pretty much on schedule. We've got a lot of work to be done. There's guys that will be working Saturdays and hopefully not Sundays if they don't have to get these projects done. And Glenwood's pretty much the same. If people drive by Glenwood next week, and they might want to do that, is that the Trojan sculpture in that big circular area on the south side is going up. The bricklayers will be laying that up. It's actual carved design of a Trojan head that goes on that, and then that building will pretty much be done on the outside. So it really, really is great to watch these buildings go up.
Not different than the one-room schoolhouse my partner went to.
Exactly, is that when people start to see the facilities that their children have to be educated in, and again, with Millstream, it's kids from Putnam County, Hancock County, Cary, Riverdale, is that there's some great facilities, and a lot of projects we're going to be doing with Owens Community College and things to really ramp this up.
All right, Dean Whitwer, Superintendent of Findlay City Schools. Thanks for your time, Dean.
Thanks, Chris.
42-0, Findlay at the half, and the Helms Paving and Site Contracting halftime show continues. Jim Lachey and Skip Mossy coming up on WFIN.
The Findlay Trojans on WFIN, brought to you in part by Reineke Ford Lincoln, WC Net, Helms Paving and Site Contracting, Bread Meats, Pete's Auto Service, Kirk Chiropractic, The Trojan Club, Cold Stone Creamery, Hufford Family Funeral Home, Buffalo Wild Wings, County-Wide Sports, and Northwest Ohio Orthopedics.
This is the Alarm Force Tonight in High School Football Halftime Show. Brought to you statewide by Alarm Force. Introducing the Alarm Force Video Relay on the Ohio News Network. Now, here's your host, Skip Mossick.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Alarm Force Tonight in High School Football Halftime Report here on the Ohio News Network. This evening, we get the opportunity to sit down with one of the greatest offensive linemen to ever play high school football here in Ohio, going on to be an All-American at Ohio State, and then an All-Pro 9 times in the National Football League. We'll spend a couple of minutes with Jim Lachey, who still has a great passion for high school football here in the state. We'll talk with Jim next on the Ohio News Network. Welcome back, everybody, to the Alarm Force Tonight in High School Football Halftime Report. Skip Mossick here on the Ohio News Network. We are pleased to be joined tonight by former high school great OSU All-American and 9-time All-Pro offensive lineman, the pride of St. Henry, Ohio, Jim Lachey. And Jim, thanks for joining us. I know you still get excited about high school football when it kicks off here in the state.
You know, it's amazing. You know, I get a chance to go around and see different high schools, and I was a chance back in St. Henry over, you know, the 4th of July, and got a chance to go back in August, and, you know, just to feel that in the air, football. And then, you know, I'm involved with Grandview. My kids are there, and seeing that grow, and I'm coaching youth football, and, you know, seeing the kids go through it. And, boy, everybody knows in Ohio, it's been a hot August. There's been some humid days. There's a lot of times old coach was getting hot, much less the players out there. So, no, it has been a lot of fun, and it is exciting when high school football gets started, because that's, you know, basically that's a feeder system, you know, into the, you know, all those great high schools we've had great teams throughout the state of Ohio, and then certainly the pro teams. When you look at Cincinnati and you look at the Cleveland Browns, all the Ohio players, and in the Hall of Fame. So, I mean, Ohio is about football, and it all starts at that high school level, and certainly I get excited for it.
Jim, I had you address this last week during the Ohio State broadcast in regards to the new helmet rule in college football, also new this year at the high school level. Just your overall thoughts on it. Obviously, safety is the biggest concern, but more specifically to you as a former player, why do they seem to be coming off at every level more these days?
Yeah, I don't know if I can answer why they're coming off, but I think what it does, it puts a point of emphasis on the helmet coming off. So, number one, you better make sure your straps are tightened, that, your clips are good, that it won't come off, and that it will stay in your head. Because if not, you'll be penalized, not yards. Now, you will if you continue to play, but you'll be penalized by having to come out and sit a play. So, depending on the player that helmet comes off, that can affect a key moment in a game. I think there might be some adjustments to the rule in the future, but I think they're starting here, and then we'll kind of go from there.
Chris Miller, Bob Montgomery, Tim Montgomery, and the Helms Paving and Site Contracting halftime show. Here's the unofficial first half stats. Chris Waldensberger of Holy Trinity was 2 out of 5 passing in the first half. No touchdowns, no interceptions. He threw for 15 yards. Derek Sear and Nick Lebenko each caught a pass for the Titans. On the ground, they carried 26 times for 42 yards. Alvin Olay carried 11 times for 9 yards. Waldensberger 5 for 11 yards. Derek Sear 4 carries for 11 yards. Brandon Jokum carried 4 times for 15 yards. They ran 31 offensive plays for 57 yards. Had 4 first downs, 2 on the ground, 1 in the air, 1 on a penalty. They were penalized 4 times for 30 yards, and they turned it over on the fumble, and Waldensberger was sacked once by Derek Gray. The Trojans in that first half were 4 for 5 passing the ball. Paul Cosiano 3 for 4 with a couple touchdowns, and Brandon Mule completed his only pass for 9 yards. Paul threw for 75 yards. Austin Gutting, a 29-yard touchdown reception. Joseph Davidson, a 39-yard touchdown reception. Austin Nicewander, a 7-yard reception, and Colton Hutchinson with his first catch as a Findlay Trojan. That was good for 9 yards. On the ground, the Trojans have run 10 times for 169 yards. Vance Settlemeyer, 3 carries for 34 yards. Paul Cosiano, a 24-yard carry. Devin Denard, a 57-yard touchdown run. Brandon Mule carried twice for 45 yards, including a 42-yard touchdown, and Doran Thames carried 3 times for 9 yards. So the Trojans ran 15 plays for 250 yards. And don't forget, we had the Jimmy Orwick 82-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. Trojans had 9 first downs, 6 on the ground, 3 in the air. They were penalized 6 times for 72 yards. They did not turn the ball over. And Holy Trinity will get the ball to start our second half. Bendel's Appliance again brings you the kickoff with over 250 models on display. Let's go check in with Tim.
Thanks, Chris. Real quick, third quarter is going to be regular time on the clock, and then the fourth quarter is to be determined depending on circumstances.
All right, thank you very much, Tim. Doing another great job as our Ace Hardware sideline reporter and staying dry so far.
Good. I think that's a good compromise. I really do. And I appreciate that information from Big Tim down there. You got to play. If we get another couple touchdowns, there's no reason to extend that. Otherwise, it's a competitive game, and there's no weather problems. Go ahead and let the team finish it. Actually, they're the last half of the second quarter. Holy Trinity looked pretty good.
Findlay had a 6-play drive, the JVs, and then got a touchdown out of it, and then stopped Holy Trinity after an 11-play drive. So much more competitive game now with the JVs out there. And Devin Denard, although he's not going to play again, he's down there leading the charge here. As a lot of the JV players are out there on the kick team now, it appears.
Grant McKinnis kicking with the wind behind him. This should go to the end zone.
McKinnis, that's a good nickname for him. Another high kick. This one will be fielded at about the 4-yard line. I believe this is Jokum on the return. And he will be dropped at about the 24-yard line. And it's Mitchell Perry. So I guess that was the normal kick team down there. And they will start their first possession of the second half at their own 24-yard line.
Very nice open tackle.
I think those are intentional by Grant, not getting him into the end zone. I think they're really trying to work on kick coverage right now.
Yeah, I think you're right,
I don't think it's by accident.
I think we talked about that a little bit in the first half. And of course, when I said that, that's when they had the long return. So I think you're right. Well, 1st and 10 for the Titans. And they'll come out in their offset eye, slot left. from their own 24-yard line. Ball right between the hash marks, and Wallaceburg wants to throw on first down, and this one is complete to Jokum. And he's got a first down before he's knocked out of bounds, and a late hit by the Trojans. You can add 15 more yards onto this one.
Man.
It's going to be about an 18-yard pickup, and you're going to add some yardage to it after that unnecessary contact after the play was over.
He was out of bounds, and the Trojan pursuit kept going and made the hit when he stepped out of bounds.
So that's going to put them into Findlay territory, and that is the 5th time tonight, Bob. The Trojans have been hit with a personal foul type penalty.
Yeah, in the kickoff, a lot of the times that's where kids are going to get a play if they're not normal first-team offense or defense, and they want to get on the action sometimes. They get a little excited and want to get part of the hit, and that time was a little bit late.
And they'll give to the big fullback. He goes left side. He's going to be dropped by Zach Young after a gain of about 3 yards. And that is the fullback, Mike Shepley. And it will bring up a second down and about 7. And we have a score for you from that Macomb Liberty Benton game at the half. Macomb on top of Liberty Benton 21-15. Arlington leading Arcadia 10-7 at the half. And again, Waldensburg is going to have a pass batted out of the air, this time by Travis Essinger. So, 2 other kickers for the Trojans, Essinger and Storr, both made their presence felt on defense here. And it'll bring up 3rd down and 7 now for the Titans. From the far hash mark, they'll put slot left and 1 to the right. And they'll bring Jokum in motion and give to him. This is their bread and butter play around the right side. And he finds a little bit of room to run, and finally able to knock him out of bounds, and bring him down is Richie Escobar. But a nice gain on the play of 16 yards for Jokum. And a first down for the Titans.
Got something going here. Got a decent return. A penalty added more, and a big play on 3rd and long, and they not only got the first down, but good yardage deep in Findlay territory.
1st and 10 now from the Trojan 22-yard line. I believe the JVs will play Fremont Ross tomorrow. Oh, and on the carry this time, big guy carrying the football down there. This is Blair Winner. He'll pick up about 3 or 4 yards. Larry, one of their offensive linemen, they put him in at fullback, and he picks up 7 yards. And Blair, 6 foot, 250-pounder.
I think that was
a lot of fullback. Well, he's lined up a tailback, as a matter of fact.
Larson Storr, I believe, made the tackle on that play for Findlay.
2nd down and 7. They'll give to the big guy again, and he's not going anywhere this time. He got caught in the backfield and wrestled to the ground, and I think it was Liam Evans who got there again first and drops him for a yard loss.
Okay, a nice job. Again, Wes Zoll, I checked that Bryce Burnside held on, wouldn't let go, and got help from his teammates.
No, it was Liam Evans who was on the tackle for the Trojans. And it'll bring up 3rd down and 8 now for Holy Trinity. And there's a flag on the play as they give it to Sear around the left side. He sidesteps a tackle, now races around the corner and gets into the end zone, but there is a flag on the play, so hold on. I think this one's going to come back. Trojans pointing back that way, so I'm afraid we may have had an illegal shift.
Well, it was a sweep to the far sideline, and could have been a holding penalty as he tried to get the corner. And I don't know. Well, let's wait and see. I didn't see when the flag was thrown. It was thrown right at the time the ball was snapped.
With the illegal motion. I can't believe you doubted me.
No, if it was thrown right away as the ball was being snapped, it had to be something like offside or illegal motion.
Can't believe you doubted me.
I apologize. Never doubt Chris Miller. That's been my lifelong motto.
Look where it's gotten you in life.
No comment.
Yeah, we're going to turn Tim's mic off here.
Tim got a motor cart down there. I look at him, he's at the 20-yard line at the right side of the field, and a couple seconds later, I look down, he's at the 20-yard line at the left side. He's been moving up and down the field pretty well tonight.
He's stealth.
He is quick.
Third down, call it 14 now from the Findlay 25-yard line. Out of the pistol.
Again, they didn't throw the flag, but there's illegal motion by the wide receiver.
Walsberg's going to roll out. Steps up. Throws to Jokum. Did he hold on to it? Inside the 5? Yes, he did. The two officials, I thought, are looking at each other. I think he held on to it.
I think he did.
It's going to be a 23-yard pickup to Jokum. And down there covering him was Zach Young. Tried to knock the ball loose. Couldn't do it. So Jokum with that 23-yard pickup and a first down. And the Titans are knocking on the door.
Well, they obviously have not given up. They're in position now where they should get a touchdown here maybe.
So a first down for the Titans, and it's first and goal now from the 2. And did they get in? Yes, touchdown. They pushed the pile over. The quarterback able to sneak in from 2 yards out. And Chris Waldensberger has the first touchdown of the night for the young men from Holy Trinity, Canada.
Well, no offense, but good for them. They've hung in there, and they had a pretty nice drive there.
And I think we even heard some of the Trojan faithful applauding the touchdown. And now, out to attempt the point after, Nick Mastromarco will attempt the point after. And look, the Canadian flag up on the Jumbotron down there.
That's great.
The left footer got the kick up. Did he get it over the upright? He got it up high enough, but it goes off to the left. So the kick failed, and it is 42-6 Findlay with 8:40 to play. You're listening to Trojan Football on WFIN. Chris Miller, Bob Montgomery, Tim Montgomery back here at Donnell Stadium as the Titans prepare to kick off. A Bindle's Appliance kickoff, your Majestic Sleep Source Mattress Center. Master Marco squid kick this time. And from the 22-yard line, but the young man for Findlay went down on his knee to pick that ball up. It was Austin Cameron. And it will mark him down where his knee touched at about the 24-yard line. So the Trojans from their own 24 with 8:39 remaining in the third period. And that was an 8-play, 76-yard drive by the Titans. Took them 3 minutes and 19 seconds to get their first touchdown, with Waldensparger going over from 2 yards out. Nice drive by the Titans. And Brandon Mule is back in at quarterback for the Trojans. Out of the pistol, they'll give to Thames left side, and finds a little hole for about 3 yards on first down. Bring up a second down and 7.
Nice blocking out there by the offensive line. One of the men opening up the hole was Wes Zoll.
So second down and 7 for the Trojans. Trojans break the huddle, spread the field. And this time around the left side. Pass complete, and with his first reception is Dalton Duvall, the senior. Will pick up 3 or 4 yards with his first catch from Brandon Mule.
Nice catch, nice effort on the run after the catch, but a nice open field tackle down there also by, I think it was Josh Arbor.
Dalton Duvall, a 5'10", 218-pound senior. Pick up about 3 yards, and it'll bring up a third down, and we'll call it 4. This is Nolan Rodman, I believe, on the carry, and he may have gotten back to the line of scrimmage if the officials are generous with the mark, and they are not so inclined. So he will lose a yard on the play. He'll bring up fourth down for the Trojans, who have punted all of 3 times on the year. Will they make it a 4th time?
Wyatt Rolofson, interesting name, on the tackle for the Titans.
So Joseph Davidson, who punted 3 times last week, his first punts of the year. They didn't punt until the second half of the second game, and of course it was shaken up a little bit in the preseason, so he wasn't at 100%, but he's out there and he will punt here. And the lefty will send it down near the 30-yard line and picked up and then dropped by the Titans. There's a host of bodies jumping on that ball.
return man misjudged it, and he had to come up at the last minute, try and field it, and went down low and couldn't hold on, but I think it took a Titan bounce, and they covered it.
So they will give it to the Titans, and the Titans will start this possession. There's an injured Titan, and they will start this possession at their own 32-yard line. We're going to take a timeout with the injury on the field. 42-6 Findlay, and we'll be back on WFIN. Here we are, back at Donnell Stadium. Chris Miller, Bob Montgomery, and Tim Montgomery. Holy Trinity back on offense. Here's Jokum on that little sweep around the right side, and coming up to close any hole was Jake Brock, the 5'11", 180-pound sophomore. And no gain on that play for Jokum.
Good team defense again that time by the Trojans. They came in, they had all lanes closed off. They couldn't go inside, outside, couldn't turn it up, and as a result, gained about half a yard, if that, on the carry.
Yeah, they may have given him a yard on the carry, so 2nd down and 9 for the Titans. 6 minutes to play, third period. Trojans in control here, 42-6. Varsity put 35 up in the first quarter, and the JV has battled the Titans pretty even here the last 2 quarters. Wallensberger again from the pistol, low snap, but he able to dig it out, and then he's going to be dropped and sacked, and it is Zach Young racing in and making the stop, and he's going to lose about 5 yards on that play.
Snap a little bit low, but it was between his waist and his knee. He should have had it, but I think he was starting to look upfield already for a possible wide receiver coming open, and bobbled it, dropped it, and as he picked it up, he got drilled.
2nd sack of the night. Derek Gray had one earlier. Now Zach Young, who we've called his name quite a bit tonight on defense. It'll bring up 3rd down and 15 for the Titans. They'll go slot right, one to the left. Ball on the near hash mark. They're going left to right here in the 3rd period. Jokum goes in motion. They give it to him from right to left. And, close quick, and he got stood up. Several Trojans going to help finish off the play, but getting there first with authority was Desmond Leno, 6 foot, 195-pound sophomore. Hit him hard.
Mano, face to face, and stopped him in his tracks, got help from his teammates, and it's a loss on the play.
That was Nick Lebenko on that carry. I thought it was Jokum, but it was Lebenko, and he will lose a yard. And it will bring up a punting situation for the Titans, but I believe there's a problem, and they'll take a timeout. So with 4.5 minutes remaining here in the 3rd period, it's 42-6 Findlay. We'll be back on WFIN. Chris Miller and Bob Montgomery back at Donnell Stadium along with Tim Montgomery. Let's go down on the sideline real quick. We'll check back in with our Ace Hardware sideline reporter, Tim Montgomery.
All right, Chris. Well, I'm sure there's some people back home wondering with a 42-6 score why Findlay would play this game. People have been saying it to me in the stands here. And 2 answers here. For Findlay, it's a case of you needed a game. And in the case of Holy Trinity, it's an opportunity to gauge yourself. It's like the University of Findlay men's basketball team playing Duke or Ohio State or Dayton. It's a chance to find out what you got.
Zach Armstrong on the return for Findlay, and he avoids a couple of tackles. Nice return by Zach. Picks it up back around his 25 and takes it out over the 45. Nice return, Zach Armstrong, out to the 47 or 48-yard line.
And really a great punt, too. Zach really had to backpedal just to get that. Took it on the fly, going back away from the direction he wanted to go with it. Turned upfield, raced along the sideline, had a nice return on it. If you haven't been out to Donnell Stadium, come on out. The additions are fantastic. We got the big Trinitron-type screen with the instant replay just being shown. All kinds of nice new advances with technology. Obviously, Donnell Foundation takes care of the stadium, keeps it painted, trims up, looks nice. Great place to watch high school football.
And Jordan Dean is going to check in at quarterback for the Trojans now. And he wants to throw on 1st down. And his pass is complete. And I believe it's Chase Kemper over there on the sideline who comes up with that reception. So Jordan Dean has his first completion as a Trojan quarterback, and Chase Kemper with his first reception for the varsity.
Chase did a really nice job of running hard down the field, and the halfback had to respect that speed, so he started backpedaling real quick. As soon as he started backpedaling, the receiver stopped and turned. Pass was right on the money. Nice gain on the play.
So 2nd down and 6 now for the Trojans, just inside Titan territory. They'll send 3 receivers to the left. Ball is on the far hash mark. And Jordan Dean, as I said, now in at quarterback for Findlay. Gotten to see action in all 3 games so far. And I don't know, I think he wanted to give that ball to Thames, and Thames didn't take it, and old Jordan's going to get buried and lose 5 yards on the play.
Oh, wow. It looked like the entire Titan team was in on the offensive huddle and heard the play because he pulled the ball out of the tummy of the running back and had 3 purple jerseys shoulder to shoulder drilling straight on.
3rd down and 11 after the 5-yard loss. Just over 3 minutes remaining here in our 3rd period. Don't forget, stick around for the scoreboard show. A lot of big games in the area tonight. They'll have all the scores for you. And Rex will have the Trojan highlight reel for you. And don't forget the BM moment, the Bob Montgomery moment, each and every week. 3rd down and 11, and Dean wants to throw. Rolling out to his left, stepping up, going to try to run it himself. He eluded one tackler, and then he got crushed right at the line of scrimmage, and coming up to make the hit was Brandon Brissett. Jordan's going to pop right up, but he got the worst of that one. He got about 6 yards on the play.
Well, you got to give the defensive backs all the credit in the world there. He wanted to pass that. He had a couple receivers here on the near side of the field, but the problem was the defenders were running side by side right with him, and he didn't want to risk the interception, so he just wanted to try to run, get what he could, and actually lost a yard or two.
Trojans are going to send the punt unit back out. And Joseph Davidson will try to boom another one. Brandon Jokum is deep along with Holden Bennett. Nice high, tight spiral. That's what we expect from Joseph Davidson. The up man tried to call the fair catch. Unable to do so, and it'll go into the end zone. It'll be a touchback and a 53-yard kick.
Yeah, 53 yards to the goal line, and that actually went through the end zone and out the back, so it was a heck of a great kick. And really, as we said, Joseph Davidson hadn't had very many opportunities, only 4 punts before that one, and that was a towering kick. Remember, Joseph Davidson got honorable mention All-State, or second-team All-State his sophomore and junior year. He wants to get a lot of opportunities to punt, maybe as a senior move up and get first-team All-State.
Well, Bob, the Arlington-Arcadia game has been delayed by lightning in the second half, so obviously there are some storms in the area.
Where are they playing that one at?
That's what I don't know. I'd have to check.
Well, it's not too far. Both those communities are pretty close to us, just west of us. We haven't seen anything. There's not much breeze now hanging in there, but we haven't seen any lightning or heard any thunder so far.
We're going to give to the big guy winner, the tailback, but there's a flag on the play. I think we're going to have an illegal shift against the Titans.
That flag was thrown immediately. Obviously, there had to be movement somewhere. Just as the ball was being snapped.
So that'll back them up 15. I believe that game is in Arcadia tonight. Since Arlington, I think, played their first 2 at home, but that's just a guess.
Well, Arcadia is to the east of us, obviously, and the wind has been blowing, I think, from what...
It may have blown around us.
It blew around us. It didn't blow over top of us. We've seen nothing and heard nothing. No wind at all right now. The flag during the first half was wavering, wind coming out of the south. Second half, it's just no movement at all, hardly.
Second down. First long pass for Wallensberger. That one is up for grabs and almost intercepted, but unable to pull it down. I believe that was Nolan Rodman back there defending for the Trojans.
He really had to leap up and try and pull it in. It was a little overthrown from where he was as defensive back. Got his fingertips on it, but couldn't hold on.
So they bring up 3rd down and 7.
Another really nice crowd here for Findlay night. Second home game. Students on their feet the whole game cheering for the Trojans.
Minute 25 left, 3rd period. Trojans on top 42-6. Jokum comes in motion from left to right. He gets the ball. Trying to get that corner turn and stepping up, forcing him back inside was Austin Cameron, and then a host of Trojans on the stop down there. Among them, Chase Horrig was on the stop. Looked like Nick Kiffmeyer was around that play as well.
And Richie Escobar
picked about 3 yards on that one.
Ricky Escobar also helping out. So, 4th down, is it? It is
4th and 4 now, so the Trojans will send out Zach Armstrong and Nolan Rodman to return this kick. (42-6) Findlay. Final minute of play here in the 3rd period. And a nice kick this time. Armstrong goes back, fields it at his 29-yard line to the 35-40, 45-yard line. Caught there and dropped out near the 47-yard line, and that's where Findlay will start their last possession of the third period.
About a 15-yard return on that punt, so nice job. He got the ball, started for the sideline, saw there was nothing there, made a sharp cut back towards the middle of the field, raced upfield, and got good return on the punt.
Well, Jordan Dean quarterbacked the Trojans that last drive. He was 1 for 1 for 4 yards, also ran a couple of times. And he will lead the blue and gold back out onto the field. Trojans will put 2 to the left and 1 to the right. Zach Young has come out on offense now. He'll line up in the backfield with Dean. And Zach Young is going to carry the football, and he looked like he had a little spurt there, but he is caught and wrestled down by Wyatt Rolofson, who we've called his name several times tonight. It'll be about a 2-yard gain for Zach Young.
That play was supposed to go off right guard, right tackle. That hole closed, so the running back planted his right foot, cut back to his left, turned what would have been a 1-yard loss or maybe a no gainer into a 2-yard gain on a nice cut.
And that's going to do it for the third period of play. 42-6. Trojans on top of Holy Trinity, and we'll be back on WFIN.
This is Mark Ritzler, coach of the Findlay Trojans. Tune in Wednesday nights when we talk Trojan football on WFIN's Coach's Corner.
Chris Miller and Bob Montgomery, along with Tim Montgomery, back here at Donnell Stadium after 3 quarters, 42-6 Findlay. And easy trivia question tonight. Hank Kramer knew the answer to our Bread Needs Greg Miller Trojan trivia question. It was John Walford, who played for the Ottawa Rough Riders, British Columbia Lions, and Las Vegas Posse of the Canadian Football League. And we'll do it again next Friday night.
Tremendous player for Findlay High School, also a tremendous player for Miami of Ohio.
2nd down and 8 for the Trojans. Jordan Dean in at quarterback. And it's Zach Young again carrying and running as hard as he can, but he's caught in the backfield, and I think it was Brandon Brissett who got there first, and Zach was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it.
As I recall, it was 42-0 at half, 42-6 at the end of the third quarter, so a very well-played quarter by both teams defensively, and we're going to go the full 12 minutes the fourth quarter.
Well, yeah, that first quarter, the Trojan varsity was just no match for Holy Trinity.
35-0, wasn't it, first quarter?
After 1. So 3rd down and 8. See if Jordan Dean will put it in the air on 3rd and 8. He's going to roll out to his left. He's going to step up and run with it. And he is hit at about the 46 and dropped hard by Wyatt Rolofson, who is, and Jordan may not get up from that hit. He was hit hard by Rolofson, who's laid some licks on some people tonight. It's a nice 5-yard run by Jordan, but he is shaken up.
Wyatt Rolofson, a linebacker, and he didn't bite on the fake and really hit the quarterback quite hard. He's flat on his back. I'm going to guess it's not serious. Maybe the wind, maybe something a little worse, but trainers out there very quickly to attend him.
Well, let's take a timeout now during this injury. 11:09 to play in this one. The Trojans on top 42-6. We'll be back on WFIN. Back at Donnell Stadium, and let's go down to Tim. Tim, looks like obviously a right leg injury for Jordan Dean.
Yeah, it appeared from my angle, Chris, that he got hit low on the big hit came over the top, so I think he just got it kind of twisted underneath him with that, and I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't take a pretty good shot to the head as well in that process.
All right, well, we've been informed that the Ottawa-Glandorf-Lima-Shawnee game being played down at Shawnee has actually been suspended for the night because of the weather, so there's some bad weather all around us, but we haven't had any since we got underway here tonight. It's good, Bob, because we're so sweet we would melt in the rain.
Oh, yeah, right.
Word that a bunch of games down south have been postponed as well.
Okay, yep, and Arlington at Arcadia has also been delayed by lightning. So Joseph Davidson out to punt for the Trojans.
Luciano going out too.
He's the up man in the punt formation. Low snap, but Joseph will pick it up off the ground. Plenty of time. He gets the end-over-end kick up, and time to let that one down. He picked it up with Trojans all around him, and he's going to get buried. Oops. at about the 5 or 6 yard line, so about a 50-yard punt for Joseph. That'll help his average a little bit tonight.
All right, about that 48-yard punt. Great punt.
So from their own 5, Holy Trinity will start this drive with 10:33 remaining and 42-6. The Trojans in control. As I said, Lima Senior comes to town next week. Oh, but guess what? On that hit, one of the Trojans must have used their helmet because there's another 15-yard penalty against the Trojans. I think Mark Ritzler will be working on that a little bit this week. Oh, we just had a lightning strike, so they're sending the players to the locker room. Or not a strike, but they saw lightning. They're going to send the players in. And I would not be surprised if they'll call it. Tim, did you see lightning down there?
I did not. I was talking with Nate Wire, who told me an interesting fact. Trinity's arch rivals are playing North Canton Hoover tonight as well. So, of course, North Canton Hoover in the same region as we are. So interesting, 2 games going on at the same time.
All right, well, here at Donnell Stadium tonight, the game has just been suspended as the officials saw lightning. So we're going to take a timeout here with the Trojans on top, 42-6, 10:33 showing on the clock. We'll go back to the station and play a couple of commercials, then come back and update you on the situation. We'll be back on WFIN. All right, we're back at Donnell Stadium where play has been suspended as the officials saw lightning. Tim Montgomery has an update for us. Let's go down to our Ace Hardware sideline reporter.
Thank you, Chris. The lightning was spotted to the north, and one of the important factors is it was at 8:53. We have to wait 30 minutes without seeing more lightning before we can restart this. But under the circumstances, the feeling is we might not try to sit this out very long.
All right, Tim, thank you very much. Yeah, that's what we're speculating up here. We'll see if they continue. So Tim said it has to be a half hour from 8:53 before they'll go back out on the field as the game has been suspended by lightning to the north. So we will wait and see. Trojans in control of this game here tonight, 42-6. The varsity scoring 35 points in the first quarter. Then the junior varsity came out, put one up on the board in the second period to go up 42-0 at the half. Holy Trinity able to get a touchdown on their opening drive of the second half, and since then we have just been exchanging punts. But again, the officials spotted lightning to the north of the stadium, so the 2 teams have been sent into the locker room. Most of the fans have exited, although some are still hanging around because we haven't seen any lightning directly above. Haven't heard any thunder either, really. So just a matter of time. But just because they saw lightning, they have to wait 30 minutes, I believe. Let's go back down to Tim.
Well, and a quick look at the radar shows a big mass of green with little batches of yellow and red. And we just had another flash just as I was talking off to our west.
All right,
that'll reset the clock.
All righty, so I guess the more we see it, the less likelihood there is that we're going to continue this one here tonight. Tim is down on the sideline with Nate Wyrau, the athletic director. So Tim will get an update for us on what's going on.
Well, we got a little situation where Findlay Youth Football is going to be putting on a nice get-together, try and raise money for Findlay Youth Football tomorrow at the landing pad at noon. So a lot of activities. Get out there and say hi.
All righty. And not sure, Tim maybe has another update for us, so let's go back down. And Tim just talked with Nate Wyrau, the athletic director. Let's check in with Tim.
Well, we've had a couple more flashes since the last time we talked. The big question down here is what is happening with the Macomb Liberty game, if anybody's heard anything on that, because that's got to be in the same path as this.
Yeah, that game was, well, I'm not sure what the situation is there. I know Macomb was up 21-15 at the half, but it seemed like they must have had some sort of delay because that score came in very late into our halftime. So, yeah, I'm not sure.
If they continue this game, and I think it's very, very doubtful they're going to play before basically nobody, because I don't think anybody's coming back, with Findlay out 42-6 with 10.5 minutes to play in the ball game. But, I wouldn't be surprised. Tim may have something for us now.
Thunder,
okay. A lot of thunder and lightning to the west, so it may be on its way here. The officials, though, are still on the field keeping track of all of this, so.
I'm still a little surprised at the score the way it is. They just didn't say, hey, guys, nobody's hurt. We got one kid hurt. Let's finish.
That's true, but
the
first quarter, it's been a pretty competitive game with our second and third teamers out there. But they'll put the highlights up on the Jumbotron, so a little bit of entertainment here. We're going to take another timeout again. Play has been suspended due to lightning with 10.5 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. This final score not in the outcome not in question, 42-6 Findlay. But we'll be back with another update after this timeout on WFIN. And again here with 10.5 minutes remaining on the clock anyways, it is 42-6 with Findlay in control of Holy Trinity, and the lightning has delayed our contest tonight. All right, well, Tim, you got some more for us down there? Let's go back down and see what Tim has.
It just gets more discouraging. Every time I look to the west, I see another flash of lightning. I think the only redeeming factor is I don't think the officials saw that one, so maybe the clock still rolls.
Well, there is one official down there behind you, so I'm sure he's keeping track, but it's a matter of how long they want to put this off, because it looks like it's coming, and it's not only going to get worse.
To me, it's a no-brainer. I'm not an official. I don't care what I think. But with the situation the way it is, lightning, the score, there's no doubt about it. People leaving, they've been out 15, 20 minutes already, and they've got at least another half hour before they bring them back. Just let the kids go home, get dressed, and get ready.
And there's another one.
And Tim and I are both in agreement that when it comes to no-brainers, Bob, you're an expert.
Thank you very much.
Well, again, I think this is going to be a decision that has between Nate Wyrow and representatives from Holy Trinity. I don't think this is an official's decision so much as it's going to be the two schools.
You can hear the thunder rumbling now back there behind us, so...
And the lightning's getting closer.
In a lightning delay with 10.5 minutes to play, and 42-6 Findlay, just waiting for official word here.
Sitting next to you, I was wondering what that rumbling was, and now I find out it is the thunder behind us. Sorry about that.
What did you think it was, Bob?
There was cookies up in the press box, so it can't be Bob's stomach.
No, he had his fill at halftime.
Yeah.
So, well, there's Coach Ritzler down on the field, Tim. I don't know if he can help you out any, but if he's willing, we'll send it back down to Tim and see if he can't catch up with Coach Ritzler.
See what he has to say.
Got a second? Chris wanted me to check in with you. Anything official yet as far as how we're going to proceed?
Not one person here said one word to me so far about anything, so I know nothing.
That's a good place to be because that's where most of us are. Yep. JV's showing themselves well. They gave up the score, but by and large playing well.
Yeah, played a little bit better after that. Had some trouble with the jet sweep, and we had a guy turn it in, but then we didn't have the fill for the linebackers and the safety, and the corner let them slip outside a couple times, so there was kind of a group effort, but got better with it after they got a little bit more used to it.
Tim, does he know how Jordan Dean is?
Offensively, their defense is seeing the younger kids in there and just teeing off on the run and pitting back.
There's about 8 or 9 guys in the box now. Not a whole lot of chance. You know, obviously we see this. We'd be checking to a pass and stuff, but we're not going to do that now. So I have no idea what's going to happen if we'll come back out or not. But if we do, we'll get our young kids some more opportunities to play.
Tim, ask him about Jordan Dean. Okay.
Thank you, guys.
I was going to have you ask him about Jordan Dean, the young man that walked off the field.
Hey, Coach, real quick, Chris, let me ask any word on Jordan Dean who went off there just before the delay?
Sprained ankles, what they thought.
Okay.
All right,
so
thank you.
Serious. All right, thanks, Tim, and thanks, Mark. All right, again, we've got 10.5 minutes showing on the clock, but it's 42-6 Findlay, lightning delays, waiting for official word from the officials, I guess. The officials would be official, huh?
From down on the field, our crack on-the-field reporter, Jim Montgomery, says every time you see a lightning crack, the clock goes back to 30 minutes again to make sure there's not going to be any. So we still got quite a bit of time if we're waiting to see if we're going to play.
All right, well, why don't we take another timeout here, and we'll come back and update you after this timeout as the Trojans in a lightning delay with 10.5 minutes to play in a 42-6 lead. We will be back on WFIN. And welcome back out to Donnell Stadium. Chris Miller, Bob Montgomery, Tim Montgomery. 10:33 showing on the clock. Lightning delays here at Donnell Stadium with the Trojans in control, 42-6. And Tim just got done talking with Nate Wyrow, the athletic director. Let's go back down and check in with Tim.
Well, there's still no official word, but I will tell you two things. We do not have an official on the field anymore keeping track of the time. And Mark Ritzler passed me a little while ago and said, have a good night, Tim. We'll see you later.
Oh. So, that sounds like that might be official. Yeah, it doesn't look very good.
No decision's been made. I just talked to Nate.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks, Tim.
Well, we'll just have to wait and see. As we said several times already, where we sit, we have no view at all behind us. If you went up on the second floor of the press box, got a beautiful window overlooking the pond, and you could see all the activity. But all the activity, at least close to us, has been pretty much behind us or to our south or west. But nothing has blown over the stadium. It looks like a perfect night. Probably, I'm going to guess it's probably about 65 degrees, maybe. No wind. We got a good view of the north, south, and west as we're looking at the press box, and we have not seen any lightning, although Chris said he heard a couple roars of thunder somewhere.
All righty, we're still lingering around here at the press box. Again, Scoreboard HQ will follow, and hopefully there'll be some games to report on tonight with all the inclement weather around the area. There will be some highlights. Tim just put the headphones on, so we may have another update. Let's go back down to Tim.
Well, I get the feeling Findlay would like to play this game. They're trying to decide on communication. They're still not 100% sure who to communicate on the decision. A side note, or something that it could play a factor in this, is the fact that Holy Trinity is spending the night in Findlay tonight. So it's not like they have to hurry to get in a bus to get home. They're spending the night. By the way, a couple little drops just started to fall here in front of me. So, I don't know. No decision yet, though.
All right, so maybe the Rains are moving in, but so far there's been no cancellation of the contest. So,
yeah, we've only played a minute and 27 seconds of the fourth quarter. Obviously, that leaves 10 minutes and 33 seconds. You didn't know I knew math that well, did you? So we got most of the fourth quarter to play, but again, we'll stay and do it if they want to do it. I just kind of find it interesting. We just think, guys, let's keep everybody healthy. This game's already decided. Let's get out of here. If they do come back and play, I can guarantee it's going to be before an empty stadium.
Well, they're going to have to wait another 20 to 30 minutes, and they're going to have to take a little bit of time to warm up as well if they do. But we'll stick around and see if they're going to play ball or not. But I think what we're going to do maybe is we may go back to the station here and go to Fox Sports and just keep the lines of communications open until we get the official word. But as of right now, still 10:33 on the clock and no official decision on whether to end this game now or try to restart it here after the lightning delay is over.
Well, if you joined us later wondering what's going on, we do have a delay here, and if you missed the early part of the coverage, Findlay just bowled out to a 35-0 lead at the end of the first quarter, added another touchdown to go up 42-0, and finally in the third quarter, Holy Trinity got on the scoreboard with a touchdown and missed the extra point. It's 42-6 now, early in the fourth quarter. Game delayed temporarily, or maybe finally because of lightning and thunder in the area.
Well, let's recap the scoring while we have a little bit of time here first. Trojans, the opening kickoff for the second week in a row. The Trojans returned the opening kickoff. This was Jimmy Orwick taking the opening kickoff 82 yards. I'm sorry. Was it 82 or 98? But anyways, it was a full piece. And Grant McInnes added a point after. It was 7-0 Findlay with 11:47, just 13 seconds into this contest. The Trojans were up 7-0. First play from scrimmage, Holy Trinity fumbled it away. Trojans came up with it, and 2 plays later, Paul Cosiano found Austin Gutting for the touchdown from 29 yards out. Grant McInnes' point after made it 14-0 Findlay with 11:01 to play in the first quarter. Holy Trinity would go 3 and out, punt it back to Findlay, and Findlay would need 3 plays to cover 59 yards, and Vance would go the final 23 for the touchdown. Grant McInnes' point after made it 21-0 with 7:54 to play in the first period. Another Holy Trinity punt and another Trojan touchdown. A 3-play 59-yard drive finished off by a Paul Cosiano to Joseph Davidson 39-yard pass. Grant McInnes with the point after made it 28-0 with 5.5 minutes to play in the first period. Again, Holy Trinity would pick up their first down of the game, but they would be forced to punt. The Trojans would take over at their own 32, and on the second play from scrimmage, Devin Denard went 57 yards for the touchdown. Grant McInnes' point after made it 35-0 Findlay with 1:14 to play in the first period. Holy Trinity would pick up a couple of first downs on their next possession, but be forced to punt it away. Findlay would take over at their own 38 with Brandon Mule in at quarterback, and he would guide a 6-play, 62-yard drive. He would go the final 42 yards for the score. Storr would come on and kick the point after. It was 42-0 Findlay with 6:09 to play. Holy Trinity would actually get the football and drive the length of the field. They'd go on a 69-yard drive, but they needed 70 to get the touchdown. The Trojans would stop them to end the half, and it was 42-6 or 42-0 Findlay at the half. Holy Trinity would get in. 8-play, 76-yard drive to start the second half, with the quarterback Waldensparger scoring from 2 yards out. The point after failed, and that's where we stand 42-6 with the Trojan JVs and the Holy Trinity team exchanging punts since that time. And now with 10:33 left, we do have a lightning delay with Findlay on top, 42-6, and Tim has some more information for us. Tim?
Well, the one thing I can tell you definitively is Nate Wyrod does not want to cancel or end this game. He's vehement about that. He wants to avoid it at all costs. His contention, and I respect it, is that these young men from Ontario drove 8 hours to come down, and they didn't come down 8 hours to just play 3/4 of a football game. So Nate is trying to do everything he can to get it to play. Now, with that said, everybody has left. The boosters are cleaning the bleachers here on the near side, which isn't helping the mood of things, and we haven't had an official out here keeping an eye on the sky for the last 10 or 12 minutes. So that's the update.
All right, thanks again, Tim.
Interesting, if the Titans want to play it, I don't have a problem with it. As Tim said, an 8-hour-plus drive down there to play the game. They want to play the game, and after all, they're the only team to score here in the second half. And, it's been an up-and-down battle. Neither team really able to put much of an offense together except for the one big drive by the Titans. But, again, they still trail by quite a few points, 36 points, and they only have 10.5 minutes to do anything about it. But, hey, if the kids want to play, if both teams want to play, I got zero problem with it.
Well, some of the Holy Trinity kids are out in the crowd, out in the stands now. Some of them have their shoulder pads off, but they still have their pants and pads on, so they're watching the sky, too. I think they do want to get out and play some more football. But again, the Trojan varsity just dominated this contest in that first quarter. It's been pretty evenly matched since, though, with the Trojan JVs out on the field.
Well, going back to our barometer that we use every game, I look up at the flagpole at the north end of the field, and now the wind's starting to blow again, and it's coming from the southwest. Obviously blowing to the northeast. You didn't think I was that smart, did you? But it's starting to stand out a bit, so that front may be moving in towards us and may be coming over us before long. But again, if both teams want to play, go for it. I think it's great. But you got to have both teams want to do it, I think.
All right, again, this team from Canada made the trip down, went to Bowling Green State University on their way down, then headed over to the University of Findlay, got a tour. Last night had dinner with the Trojan team, then they practiced together out here at Donnell Stadium, and tomorrow they're due to stop at Eastern Michigan, I believe, on their way back to Toronto. So
the University of Findlay does a nice job. Remember, Chris mentioned earlier when Cleveland East Tech came down here, they had the tour of the University of Findlay. Not bad PR, and maybe get a few new students from Cleveland. Obviously, Trinity here is in town tonight, and they got a chance to go through and travel through the University of Findlay and take a tour of Findlay. So it's been a nice experience for them, and it's really nice to see them come back and get on the board in the second half. And they're fighting to maybe get a few more points on the board if they get the opportunity to retake the field. There's a big lightning. I'm looking to the north. Just looking out the far window, the whole sky lit up. You look to our east, there's nothing. But if you look north on the side window, just a big, no crack of lightning, just a big white, shiny lightning bolt probably behind some clouds, and there's another one just north of us.
Nate Wyrau.
And the wind's coming in from the west, too, so watch out.
Nate Wyrau back out on the field, but the stands are almost completely empty now on both sides. Trojan fans are working on cleaning them up a little bit, but let's wait and see what the official word is.
Hey, by the way, we open up league play next week.
That's right, Lima Senior. The Spartans will be here to take on the Trojans on Friday night. We'll be on the air at 6:30 Friday night with a 7 o'clock kickoff right here on 1330. Of course, all our games can also be heard live online at WFIN.com, courtesy of WCNet.
Lima, not a lot of players, coming out for Lima. They have trouble getting a lot of bodies out there, but they have some very, very good athletes, and they have the potential to break some big plays and score quickly. And, the Trojans are going to have to be ready for them, and that's maybe one of the reasons Nate Wyrock and both teams are holding off to see if we're going to get a chance. But during all this time, we've been kind of killing time, letting you know what's going on. I've seen no lightning at all, and then all of a sudden, just moments ago, not the crack of lightning, bolt of lightning, but you can see the skies light up to our north.
Well, Nate Wyrau down talking with Coach Zinke and some of the Holy Trinity staff, a couple of their football players down there talking things over. They still got the pads on. They want to get out and play.
Yeah, they are not taking their pads off. If they want to play and the weather permits it, we'll stay. I think the station pays overtime at, what, $50 an hour?
Is that what it is? I wasn't sure.
Maybe I'm off $49 or something. I don't know. Well, it doesn't matter. We'll do the game.
It's not overtime yet. The way the Trojans played the last 2 weeks, we were there late into the night.
Yeah.
Watching them put points up on the board.
See the Canadian flag flying over there in the visitors' stand just at the 50-yard line, just at the bottom of the stadium. Now, they've cleared out. I think unless they're parents, they probably move back to their motel since they're staying overnight or wherever they're staying.
I'm sure they're sticking around to see if the game's going to continue.
But there's very few people except officials and cleanup crew and players.
Sure, they're all down in the tunnel.
And just waiting to see what happens. And now the flag is moving a little more briskly from east to west. Or, from west to east,
Well, again, we keep updating you on the situation here. 42-6, Findlay is on top of the Holy Trinity Titans. This delay started about 10 minutes before 9, so it's been about a 30-minute delay. Again, Macomb and Liberty Benton playing in that big BVC showdown. Our last update, Macomb was on top 29-22 with 56 seconds to play in the third quarter. That game was delayed by lightning. Arlington and Arcadia earlier tonight was delayed by lightning, so lightning all around.
Remember when that front came in earlier in the day, somewhere around 3 o'clock, it came in with a vengeance. They were just quiet and still like it is now, and all of a sudden the trees started blowing. Within 3 to 5 minutes, I'd say the trees were bending. I was concerned we were going to have another really ugly situation. It did blow quite heavily. I have to hazard a guess 30, 40 miles an hour, maybe more, and got some rain, but as quickly as it came in, not too much after that, it kind of blew over and cleaned up for tonight's game.
All right, I think Tim has another update for us. Let's go down and talk to Tim.
Actually, Chris, I'm hoping you have an update. One of the questions being asked down here is who else is under delay, if anyone else is under delay. I know you mentioned Liberty Macomb a little while ago.
Arcadia and Arlington were.
They're trying to gauge what everybody else is doing.
Yeah, those are the only ones we know about. Arlington and Arcadia. Over at Arcadia was delayed, and then Liberty Benton and Macomb. And, well, the Ottawa-Glandorf-Shawnee game down in Lima has been suspended for the night. So all around us there are lightning delays, and as I said, that game I would assume will resume it tomorrow. I'm not sure how much time was left, but a lot of it all the way around us here tonight.
A lot of youngsters out on the field having a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Giving chase to each other. They're having a ball.
Why don't you go join a big guy?
I could. You talk about me running? Are you kidding? I have a hard time walking anymore.
All right, Nate Wyrow talking with one of the officials now, but still no official word on what our situation is here at Donnell Stadium.
You can hear a buzz going by us with the window open in front. It's the stadium crew cleaning up the paper and the cans and so forth from the stadium now that it's been pretty much vacated.
Well, we do have another update. Chris Oakes, our morning man, he's out at the Liberty Benton Macomb game, and rumor out at Macomb is that game is going to be suspended for the night and picked up tomorrow night at 7. It's not official, but apparently there is the possibility that Liberty Benton at Macomb game is going to be suspended and picked up tomorrow night, late in the third quarter with Macomb on top, 29-22.
Quite obvious here. There's not going to be a suspension. If they stop to play tonight, it's over. The candidate's not going to stay here for another night to play 10 minutes of football. And, so it's just a matter we either finish tonight or just call it, and Finlay picks up a win.
All right, well, they are certainly beginning the cleanup process here, regardless, all the way around. But with 10 and a half minutes remaining, we are still waiting for official word. Why don't we take our time out here? Usually we would be in our Kurt Chiropractic post-game show, and for all intent and purposes, we may be now. So let's take another timeout, and then we'll be back and get you another update here from Findlay High. The Trojans leading 42-6, 10 and a half minutes still on the clock under a lightning delay at Donnell Stadium. We'll be back on WFIN. And we're back at Donnell Stadium. Again, lightning delay here. The two head coaches, Coach Zinke from Holy Trinity and Mark Ritzler, are now talking with Nate Wyrow, one of the officials. John Ammons, one of the assistant athletic directors down on the field, talking things over. 42-6, again, is our score. Lightning delay. We do have some other scores to pass along. A couple of games did get finished up tonight. Leipzig beat Van Loo 42-7, and Pandora Gilboa beat Corey Rawson 26-0. You can hear that game tomorrow morning on WFIN at 7 o'clock.
That's the decision-making board out on the field right now. They're going to decide right here whether they want to go on with this or not. We'll just have to wait and see. But it's been a good game for the Trojans first half. Again, Holy Trinity came back, got their only touchdown in the third quarter. That was the only points in the third quarter. Give them credit. They got a nice third quarter, and it's just early in the fourth quarter, and it's going to be doubtful whether we get this on. But by the way, thinking about it, we want to thank all the other young students who put on great performances. Of course, we got the band who always did a great job, and they got a little funky out there doing some dancing. I thought you might want to get up and do the Watusi or whatever they call it.
Craig Kupferberg were both doing a little dancing up here in the press box tonight.
Cheerleaders doing a nice job, and then you got all these people, the parents, the volunteers are, take care of the concessions, they're cleaning up the field. People don't see that when they leave the game. They're going to have to get together with friends, family, or whatever, but, a lot of work goes into presenting these games, not just by the football team, but by other students and adults. And
that's part of the reason Canada likes to come down here, too, because they get a couple of hundred people at a game, the coach said, so they love the big crowds and the bands and the cheerleaders and all the fun. So
they picked a tough year to come down because Findlay has a very, very good football team. We'll see if they're as good as we think they are, but the first three games, in all honesty, are not real tough opponents. Lima.
I beg to differ on Reynoldsburg. Reynoldsburg is a good team, and we just played lights out. So.
Well, they're a good team, but they got 61 points scored against them.
Yeah, last year we needed 8 seconds to beat them with an extra point and a touchdown with 8 seconds left. They have, 7 kids that are going to play D1 football? We showed what we're capable of doing.
Oh, yeah. What a difference.
Reynoldsburg is going to win, I would imagine, 6, 7, 8 games this year. So
I might take a bet on 8 games.
8 games?
They only got 9 games to win 8, so that's a tough bet to take.
So we'll see. I thought they had a lot of talent.
On paper, and we watched them warm up tonight. That running back, 6 foot, 230 pounds, he looked like 100.
Coaches are shaking hands with the officials. That may be a sign. Let's go down to Tim. He's got final word.
They just got called. That's final. We're not going to proceed any farther. The weather is too forbidding at this point. That's right, college word. Look it up, Bob. It's too forbidding at this point, and that's going to be the ball game.
All right, thanks a lot, Tim, our Ace Hardware sideline reporter. It's over. Trojans are going to go to 3-0. Let's bring you the final stats for tonight's game. First, for Holy Trinity, Chris Waldensberger on the night ended up 4 of 9 passing for 56 yards. Nick Lebenko, a 6-yard catch. Brandon Jokum, an 18-yard catch. Derek Sear from 9 yards. And Brandon Jokum with a 23-yard. Actually, he had 2 receptions tonight. For a total of 41 yards. On the ground tonight, they ran 35 times for 66 yards. Alvin Olay, 11 carries for 9 yards. Mike Shepley, 3 carries, lost a yard. Chris Waldensberger, he carried 7 times for 8 yards and a touchdown. Derek Sear, 4 carries for 11 yards. Brandon Jokum, 7 carries for 34 yards. Blair Winter carried a couple of times for 6 yards, and Lebenko also carried a couple of times on the sweeps. So they ran 44 plays for 122 yards. They had 8 first downs, 3 on the ground, 3 in the air, 2 thanks to penalties. They were penalized 6 times for 40 yards, and they turned it over on the fumble. The Trojans did have 2 sacks. Derek Gray and Zach Young, both with sacks for the Trojans. Offensively, Paul Cosiano was 3 for 4 with 2 touchdowns, 75 yards. Brandon Mule, 2 for 2 for 12 yards, and also Jordan Dean completed his only pass tonight for 4 yards. So the Trojans were 6 out of 7 throwing the ball for, 91 yards. They ran the ball 17 times for 179 yards. Receiving-wise, Joseph Davidson had a 39-yard touchdown reception. Austin Nicewander, a 7-yard catch. Austin Gutting, a 29-yard touchdown reception. Colton Hutchison, a 9-yard catch. Dalton Duvall, a 3-yard catch. And Chase Kemper, a 4-yard reception. And on the ground tonight, Vance Settlemeyer carried 3 times for 34 yards. Paul Cosiano, 24-yard carry. Devin Denard, a 57-yard touchdown run tonight. Zach Young carried twice for 2 yards. Jordan Dean, 3 carries for 6 yards. Nolan Rodman lost a yard on his only carry. Brandon Mule carried twice for 45 yards, including a 42-yard touchdown run. And Doran Thames carried 4 times for 12 yards tonight. So again, the Trojans with 270 yards of total offense. They had 9 first downs, 6 on the ground, 3 in the air. They were penalized 8 times for 102 yards, and they turned the ball over zippo. So a 42-6 victory for the Trojans. Now let's name our post-game specialties. Our Northside Auto truck auto and truck drive of the game. We're going to give that to the touchdown that the junior varsity scored, led by Brandon Mule, a 6-play and 62-yard drive. Took 2 minutes, 58 seconds, and it was culminated on a Brandon Mule 42-yard score, and then Larson Storer came out and added the point after. That is our Northside Auto and Truck drive of the game. Our Cold Stone Creamery, Reineke Ford Lincoln offensive player of the game. Boy, not a lot of guys saw a lot of touches. We'll just give it to Jimmy Orwick, Bob, for returning the opening kickoff for a touchdown. Second week in a row, the Trojans returned the opening kickoff for a touchdown, so he'll get the gift certificate from Cold Stone Creamery. And our Latoma Funeral Home player of the game, they're calling him the Undertaker of the game. The players have started to call it. We're going to give that one to Austin Gutting tonight. Austin had a 29-yard touchdown reception, also batted down a couple of passes, made a couple of tackles, and in just 1 quarter of work. So Austin Gutting will get that T-shirt from Latoma Funeral Home.
Remember, Gutting 6'3", 250, and he's a heck of a basketball player. A lot of quickness, a lot of height and strength, and right now he's showing what he can do on the football field again this year. And right now I think wisdom has prevailed here, and you want to use discretion. You can't take a chance, and it's close enough that it doesn't look like it's going to clear out anytime soon, so let's call it a night.
All right, we'll go back to the scoreboard show, too. Maybe Rex and John can get a handle on some of the things that are going to go on. But here, the final score tonight, the game called with 10:33 left due to lightning and pending storms. The Findlay Trojans knocked off the Titans from Holy Trinity 42-6. And a big thank you to the Titans for their cooperation. The interview I got with Coach Zinke earlier this week. Some great guys. We wish them nothing but the best the rest of the season. I want to thank John and Rex back at the station. They'll be on with the scoreboard show. For Tim Montgomery and Bob Montgomery, I'm Chris Miller. Have a great rest of the evening, everybody.
WFIN is the home of the Findlay Trojans. Trojan football on WFIN, a service of Bindle's Appliance, Blanchard Valley Medical Associates, Cold Stone Creamery, Dr. Scott Atkins, DDS. Fields Auto Service by Findlay Implement John Deere, Helms Paving and Site Contracting, Hufford Family Funeral Home, Jack's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning, the LaRich family of dealerships, Ohio Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, and by Blanchard Valley Farmers Cooperative, Bread Needs, Dick's Auto Supply, Dr. Stan Doty DDS, Findlay Ace Hardware by First Federal Bank, Flag City Water Systems, Time Staffing, Ohio Logistics Tall Timbers Distribution Center, Reineke Ford Lincoln, Buffalo Wild Wings, County-Wide Sports, Joe Kuhlman Plumbing, Heating, Air Conditioning, and Electric, Kirk Chiropractic, Latoma Funeral Home, Northside Auto and Truck, Northwest Ohio Orthopedics, Pete's Auto Service, and the Trojan Club. All Trojan games heard live online at WFIN.com, courtesy of WCNet.